I'm not even the biggest Tim Burton fan, but somebody once said that November is Nightmare Before Christmas season. And I think that that's valid, because November is literally the time between Halloween and Christmas, which is kind of where Nightmare Before Christmas takes place. So, like, I think that's valid. Fall is epic stews and soups. Yes, I also make so much fucking chili during the fall. And the tin cookies, I fucking love the tin cookies. Alice, you first saw it in mid-July and it was beautiful. I think that was around the time I first saw it. Definitely like late summer, early fall was when I first saw Jingle Bells 2. And it makes me laugh so hard. Even more so because the whole meme behind that song, the whole meme behind Jingle Bells 2 is that was somebody in a music program that submitted that as like a project because they had to reharmonize a song for a project, so they did Jingle Bells 2 in that way, and apparently they failed their project. If I was the teacher, I would say that is like an A fucking plus reharmonization. Yeah, it's the one where he deliberately failed. Yes. Yeah. It's fucking flawless. Hanukkah's in November this year. Shit, okay, that's phenomenal. Happy Hanukkah when we get there. Isn't knowing exactly what not to do worthy of a passing grade? Agreed. And I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if it's all notated properly, then there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. If it's all notated properly, I would say that there's nothing wrong. It's just very simply, they chose to do something avant-garde and, dare I say it, jazzy? Like, to me, that's just experimental music, and that shit's valid as fuck. Alright, let's continue. For anyone who might not have been here last week, this is Our Life, Beginnings and Always. It is really wholesome. It is a visual novel. It starts with childhood. You make a childhood friend. It's very clear that the two of you are gonna like definitely be best friends. You might even become romantic at the time later on in the story. So it is super queer positive, very wholesome. And it's kind of a nice departure for this, for my Twitch channel, in terms of the fact that this game is extremely wholesome, and, you know, it's just a good place to vibe. So that's why I'm putting it in Wednesdays. I think having it in a Wednesday slot is just a nice place. We're in the middle of the week. Give us a little bit of, like, wholesome vibes to push us through. Now, the thing I want to check, let's see if the DLC packs actually loaded. They did! We have the DLC! Thank you, Mara, for helping me get the DLC sorted. We have all the DLC stories to do. So now we have all the more wholesome, great shenanigans to do. Academia of Music. He who may find this information relevant. He who fucketh around, findeth out at his own peril. It's so fucking true. It's so true. Even as a key signature. Even Stravinsky was like, I don't need that bullshit. Yeah, exactly. Fuck it. So at this point, we are still like 8 years old. Us and our best friend. We're still like 8 years old. So let's dig into this. And we're going to do these... It's a lot harder to get everything wrong on purpose with visual art. I don't know, Picasso did it pretty well. Stravinsky was just Igor to write music, so he skipped the key signatures. Also, I see what you did there. Alright, let's get into this. Long day. Let me know if the volume's good, because I did have to fuck around with some stuff for the other games we were playing. So if anything's too loud, too quiet, please let me know as we go. So let's do the last non-DLC, and then we will do all the DLC ones. So we're going to start with Long Day. See, I do everything wrong in visual art just naturally. Me too, Joe. I like to think I'm pretty good at writing. I'm pretty good at making music. So I can accept the fact that I can't visually art to save my fucking life. And there are too many incredible people around me who can, so I don't stress about it. Might want the music a bit higher level. Thoughts? Okay, we can do that. How much does the DLC for this cost? I think it is $5 per... era. So like $5 for childhood era, $5 for adolescent era, and $5 for adult era. Not a big music guy, or I'm a math guy. Okay, okay. Math is valid as fuck. We need people who can do math. I'm starting to get into off-road sound design, talk about humbling. Yeah, that's a fucking time. That's a fucking time. Speaking of visual art, I finally did an idea you've been thinking about for a couple of months. Hell yeah, Alice. We love to hear it. Love to hear it. Yeah, and that's Canadian. $5 Canadian. So, like, all you people elsewhere in the world. Alright, so we're gonna do that. Medium. Alright, this should be all good. Let's get into the story. And this is also kind of a good sampler as to what you'll get on the Storytime stream, which we hit. It's the other thing I want to talk about. I don't know when Storytime stream will be because I've got a very busy November, but eventually we will be doing a Storytime stream where I will read short stories as per recommendation or poems. I might have some stuff that I particularly would like to read as well, and it will be like a 3 or 4 hour stream where I just read you things, and it'll be nice and super fucking vibey, and we'll have a real good time. But for now, let's get into this. It was another scorching summer day, the kind where no sooner had you finished 1 cup of water, you were already filling it up again. Everyone else had something on, so that afternoon it was just you and Shiloh. This didn't happen much, especially since Cove arrived. Without Lizzie around, Shiloh looked to you for all the answers. It made you feel pleased, frustrated, nothing really. Daddy Salt reads bedtime stories? Something like that, sure. The more math I did, the more I just loved it. Hell yeah, ratios and interaction stuff. Hell yeah, harmonics and music are just ratios. You don't have to skeptic, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Nothing really. Shiloh went along with whatever you wanted, so he wasn't a bother, but he also wasn't that much fun. You drained yet another drink and frowned at the empty vessel. Your thirst was gone, but you still craved something icy cold and refreshing. Something sweet. Something like a popsicle, an ice cream cone, or an ice cream sandwich. We gotta go with the cone. I remember being a dummy and had this massive crush on a girl, and she was like, "Can you read me a bedtime story?" And I was like, no. And she stopped talking to me after that. I was so young and naive. That was my shot. These things happen. These things happen. The amount of oh wait moments I've had in my life where I was like just kind of doing my thing, and I'll like tell the story years later, and it won't even be till years later, and I went, oh wait a minute. Fuck. Very understandable. The right answer isn't there. Sweet tea all the way. Alice, I've only had proper sweet tea once, and it was fucking amazing, and I get it, but like, yeah, we don't have sweet tea up in Canada land. That is a South thing. Nothing beat a classic creamy scoop of ice cream on a day like this. There was nothing like that to be found at home. You knew that without needing to look. Your mums didn't keep sweets in the house. Southeast sweet tea just hits different? Hell yeah. Outside, there were plenty of places where such goodies could be obtained, but they were shops and demanded payment for such in exchange for their products. You sighed. You voiced your predicament out loud. You asked Shiloh for help. I want an ice cream cone. Shiloh, who had been draped over the sofa, perked up.
Yeah.
That sounds good. We don't have anything like that in the house. And I don't have any money. Oh, let me check if I Shiloh rummaged in his backpack and proudly produced an assortment of coins, plus one stray button. Terrible for you, though? Yeah, it's super sweet, right? I've had a few moments like that. Yeah, it's made worse by the fact that girls are really bad at flirting with each other half the time. We're too damn subtle for our own good. The common complaint I hear is, like, somebody being, when somebody decides to be forward and the other person just takes it as, like, a compliment. Like, I think you're beautiful, and the other girl will be like, I think you're beautiful too, bestie. And it's like, no, I meant that in, like, I'm attracted to you. All the homo intended. You set the button aside and counted the coins in neat piles. Just over $1. You announced this to Shiloh. He had almost certainly come to the same conclusion, but he had been watching you expectantly. Not enough, or it's a start? It's a start. Let's be hopeful. Shiloh beamed at you. Every guy has the oh moment. I was like, oh, fine, the chemistry was there and everything. I'm just a. I didn't see that. Oh, do you want to come upstairs? Yeah, it happens, Phoenix. Yeah, the useless lesbian is a trope, absolutely. Oh yeah, it's definitely an internet trope. The whole vibe of lesbians not knowing that they're flirting with each other is like a classic queer trope at this point, I think. This is why I like the guys taking the lead. I overanalyze everything. Valid, Mikey. That's super valid. I can only flirt as a joke. Can I let you in on a secret? Hang on. I'm gonna let you in on a secret. I'll let you in on a secret. It's a secret. It's a secret. There's no right way to flirt. That's it. That's the secret. There's no how to flirt. It doesn't exist. I've been having this conversation with a few people. When people are like, I don't know how to flirt, nobody does. Nobody knows how to flirt. It's basically, does your version of silly, playful goofiness vibe with the other person? That's what flirting is being your genuine, fun self, and the other person picking up on it. Truly, when people have said to me, like, oh, you're such a flirt, I'm just being myself. I'm just being myself in a way that I'm actively giving my attention and focus to one person. You know, flirting for me is like, you know, I'm still being me, but I'm being me very actively towards a specific person, right? That's flirting. I mean, there's like over-the-top flirting, right? Like there's like over-the-top flirting shit where it's like shitty pickup lines and just be like, hey, and then, you know, there's the other side of it where you can just be fucking honest about your intentions and just be straight up and be like, hey, I think you're really cute. I would love to get to know you better. That's technically flirting too, right? So like, but for everybody who's like, I can't flirt, you totally can. You just gotta not overthink it and just be your wonderful self that you already are. And if the right person picks those vibes up, you're gonna have a good time. And that's all it is. I'm gonna read chat again. See, I like taking the lead, but I'm traumatized and not doing it because of hearing too much from women. It's tough, right? Because, like, you want to make sure that you're respecting somebody's boundaries. And you want to make sure that you're not, like, getting up in somebody's face. Like, you don't just go up to somebody fucking randomly that you've never met before and be like, you're fucking hot. Want to go get a drink? Especially, you know, location dictates, right? And that's tough. It's hard to read that shit, right? But I think if you're being respectful about your intentions and also being able to take a no, I think the most important thing for especially cisgendered men, but everybody, but especially cisgendered men, I think the most important piece of advice I can give to anybody is accept the fact that a lot of times a genuinely kind advance is going to get rejected, and it has nothing to do with you. It's nothing personal. It's not your fault. They're just not interested. I feel like a lot of people, the instinct is to get very defensive about a moment like that and just be like, oh, I'm a horrible person. I'm ugly. I'm not attractive. I'm not funny. When really it's just like the vibes aren't there, and that's valid. That shit happens. I think it's the most important thing that anyone, but especially cis men, when we're talking about like worrying about making other people uncomfortable, it's the most important thing to kind of hold on to. If the ball does not fit inside your mouth, it is not your ball. Yes, thank you, Dog of Wisdom. Everyone has their own brand of flirting for sure. I think flirting is just putting your best self forward. Absolutely. Absolutely. My brand of it is just cheesy as fuck. Probably could be read as a joke. Yeah, exactly. I mean, everyone's got their own brands. Everyone's got their own vibes, right? Like, there's definitely shit that works for people that don't work for me, and vice versa. All right, let's go on this ice cream adventure. Sorry for that tangent, y'all. We'll need to find some more. See, Phoenix, something like that, while that is absolutely beautiful, I would save until you're like something that level of poetic. If you're the type of person who wants to be poetic in your words and your compliments, save that till you're already like getting close to somebody. Because as beautiful as that is, if somebody I just met dropped a bomb like that on me, even with the best of intentions, I'd be like, cool. A little strong, but cool. You know, like, I've definitely been super, super, super poetic in things that I've said to people, but once I've gotten to know them a little bit more. I think the best thing you could ever really do is, like, if you're just having a casual chat with somebody that you're interested in, and you feel like the vibes are good, you just flat out be like, hey, so I think you're really lovely, and I would love if you'd be okay with it to maybe go out for dinner or a coffee sometime, if you're interested. And maybe they'll say no. Maybe they'll say yes. The issue is containing it, because by suppressing it, I stop feeling it. Fair. Okay, that's valid. That's valid. I can't speak to that personally. By the time it's time to say it, I don't feel that anymore. That's understandable, Phoenix. And in that case, I don't particularly have an advice to give you, because that's not something that I personally experience. But I do think, like, the best thing to do, that is tricky, for sure. That is super tricky. You know, everybody's brand of neurodivergence plays in society in fucky fun ways, right? But I feel like if you are just being, like, a genuine, honest, yourself person, you'll find the person who vibes with that. It sometimes takes a long fucking time, but you will find them. Okay, let's go get some ice cream, or find money for ice cream. The two of you lifted couch cushions, stuck tiny hands down deep crevices in the sofa and under furniture, and scoured the back of drawers. Most of what you found was useless or gross, bent paper clips, fluffy wisps of dust or sandy crumbs, but every so often you'd strike silver or bronze and add it to the growing pile of coins. Your mind wandered to the $20 bill tucked away in your room. It was enough for you and Shiloh to get whatever you wanted and more, but you didn't take it out. That was too special to hand over so freely. Besides, Shiloh would be curious about where it came from, and might even mention your wealth to Lizzie. The exchange had been a secret. Dusty and disheveled from checking every room and squinting into every tiny nook, the two of you finished pooling your finds. Shiloh held his breath as you counted the coins once again. $2.53 and 2 buttons. You didn't know when the second button had decided to join the party, but you were too pleased with your successful haul to throw it out. Is that enough? You figured he knew the answer without looking to you for confirmation, but the thrill of your success and the reward that would follow canceled out any feelings you might have had about that. Yeah! You could now afford something at the shops. Just one thing. But it was infinitely better than none. Shiloh clapped his hands. Yay! The two of you dashed outside. The promise of sugar buoyed you on to your destination where, breathless but happy, you stared at the overwhelming number of options. You knew what you wanted, but it wasn't just you who had contributed to the funds to get the treat. He seemed to notice your pause. Aren't you getting an ice cream cone? Shiloh asked as though he was entirely separate from the decision, rather than someone with a stake in the outcome. Do you mind? Shiloh cocked his head to the side. It was your idea. You should choose. You tried to get something you both wanted anyway. Yeah, Shiloh definitely offered the money, so we should be trying to split this. It wasn't fair for you to be the only one to decide when he had been a main factor in making this happen. Some of the money came directly from his backpack. What do you like? All of them. They're so good. You pressed further. Well, what do you really like? Popsicles or ice creams? Which is your favorite? Aw, it's so hard to pick. I don't know. Frustrated, you cut to the heart of the matter. You want me to choose? Yeah. And that was that. You got the dessert you wanted originally, and hoped Shiloh would actually like it too. Finally, the reward for all your hard work was in your hands. You lapped at the soft ice cream, the sweetness perked you up. You held it out to Shiloh so he could take a turn. He shook his head.
You can finish it.
Aw, Shiloh. He didn't want any? After everything he did to help get it? That was weird. You tried to include Shiloh. Even if Shiloh said it was okay, every story you'd seen on TV or read in a book said that sharing was caring. You stood your ground, even as the treat started to trickle dangerously towards your fingers. Yeah, this game is super, super cute. Bo, hello, we are doing well. We're having another sweet, saccharine visual novel night with Our Life. We're just vibing, telling cute stories. Hope you're doing well too, Bo. It's only fair that you have some. We both bought it. But you want it more than I do, and getting to play was a lot of fun. Already. So you can have it. That's more fair. You held it out to him. I want you to have some even more than I want to finish it, so eat your part. Relenting, Shiloh took the treat and gave it a taste. His eyes lit up.
Thank you.
This is really good. Thank you. You smiled, pleased with your good deed. Finally, something nice happens for Shiloh in this game. For the first time in this game, Shiloh gets to have a moment where he's happy. You picked the best one. Did he mean that? Shiloh was always nice no matter what happened. Even if he hated it, you knew he wouldn't say so. Oh yeah, he did win the race down the hill too. Wanna be a dad? Bah. That's valid. You're eating a homemade brownie, this is a perfect combo. Let's go. Brownies and ice cream. Top tier. Maybe he thought it was gross, and that's the real reason he didn't want to take some. You had no idea. You studied him as he ate a little more. He had every appearance of enjoying himself. Still weird. The two of you began to head back home as he ate. You walked side by side on the shore in silence, but your thoughts kept drifting to the boy beside you. Why didn't he speak up for himself? It was almost as if Shiloh didn't know how to say what he felt, or was too afraid to. I'm gonna grab some Lotus biscuits from the shoppers, be back in a bit, keep the tab open. Phoenix, thank you for the lurk. I hope you enjoy those biscuits, and we'll see you shortly. You figured that was his problem and didn't care. Are you scared of me? You thought that was kind of sad. Are we friends? Ooh. I don't like that. I don't want to leave it dismissed. I feel like this is going to cause drama. I'm going to ask, are we friends? Hopefully he doesn't take that the wrong way. Because I'm hoping that that comes off as, I want us to be friends, can you please confirm it? Rather than like, do you think we're friends because we're not? So I'm hoping that this plays out nicely. Shiloh opened his eyes wide, seemingly caught off guard by the blunt question. Yeah, I think so. He says that, for friends should be able to talk to each other without being scared. If Shiloh wouldn't do that, were you really even friends at all? He rubbed his hands together nervously over your non-reaction. Oh wow, Phoenix, that's wild.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. You weren't sure how sorry he could be without even knowing what he's apologizing for, but you shook your heads. You didn't do anything. It was true. Shiloh hadn't done something mean. He'd gone out of his way to make you happy. It didn't seem like that should be a bad thing, yet it bothered you. Absolutely. Perfect. I just don't know if you like me. It's like it doesn't matter what I do, you're gonna act the same. I could be anybody and you wouldn't care. No, I like you. I really, really like you, Cygnus. I want to be friends. Okay. You smiled hesitantly at him, and his fidgeting ceased. Even though you weren't sure if you believed him, this was only making things worse. You decided that maybe there were all different types of friends. If Shiloh wasn't able to do things differently, this would have to be alright. Shiloh made you unsure about setting a label on the experience of spending the afternoon with just him. There had been good times, and there had been some confusing ones. You were positive of one thing at least. The treat was delicious, and that was nice. The sun was low on the horizon as you returned up to your neighborhood. There, you spotted two very familiar figures up ahead, Lizzie and Cove. You opened your mouth to make your presence known to them, just as you saw the tears on Cove's face. You walked straight over, Shiloh at your heels. Once there, you... took a moment to make a joke, defended Cove, accused Lizzie of causing trouble, carefully asked about what happened. Yeah, let's not make any assumptions here. Without a time machine, the only way you were going to find out was by asking the witnesses. Lizzie might have done something wrong, but she could have just been in the wrong place at the wrong time, or even come to Cove's aid. You wanted to hear the story. New Ace Attorney game looking wild. Really? Cove, what happened?
Cygnus.
Cygnus, I got yelled at. He took a deep, steadying breath. Some grandparents got mad at me. Oh, sorry. Lizzie jerked her head in the direction of a nearby house. Your heart sunk. You knew exactly what had happened. Every year, the same mean old couple rented out that condo for the summer. You, Lizzie, and Shiloh knew to stay away from them, but Cove couldn't have. Oh, no, this feels a bit like Ace Attorney. Oh, I get you now, Alice. Got it. They're like that with everyone. Even your mom struggled to find anything nice to say about them, but the elderly pair particularly took offense to kids. It didn't matter if they were really nice like Cove. Yeah, Lizzie said. Lizzie drew herself up at that. She looked pointedly in your direction. Uh-huh. I was helping. That's cool. Is there anything I can do?
No.
No, I'm just gonna stay away. Or you could teach them a lesson. There was a devilish glint in her eyes. What? You should ding-dong ditch them. Go ring the doorbell and run. It'll be great because they're so slow. They'll never catch you. That's dumb. I don't want to go near them ever again.
You're just saying that because you're a chicken.
We got a full voice line that time. Cove glared, but didn't take the bait. Lizzie turned to you. You're not a chicken, are you? Yeah, cluck cluck. You'd rather just avoid them. You thought they deserved worse. I'll do it. Honestly, I'm not about to piss off the old grandparents. You kind of forget they're like 10. Yeah, it's true. This game is really well written that you sometimes forget that these are like children, right? You looked in the house. Behind those closed doors lurked two beings, rich in years, but poor in patience. Maybe they deserved retaliation, maybe they didn't. But that punishment wouldn't be coming from you. It was far safer to stay far away from them, especially since Cove took their outbursts to heart. I'm not doing it either. Another chicken for the coop. This is a hen house now. If we're chickens, then you're a lizard, Lizzie. Calvin somehow being yeah, exactly. She wagged her tongue at his face. Still better than a bird brain. Chicken. The condo door opened, revealing one of the two culprits. The old man's wizened face was set in a scowl, which was to say he looked exactly like he always did when you saw him. Maybe that was his normal face. What are you kids doing loitering outside my house? Or maybe he was just always in a terrible mood. Nothing. He repeated the word as if it was the greatest crime anyone could commit. Nothing good, more like. Get lost! It wasn't as if he owned the space outside the house, but Cove's eyes, still red from his earlier tears, were wide, and you thought it best to just heed the old man's command. Yes, sir, if you rent, this is not your house. Lizzie took off, with Shiloh immediately trailing after her without so much as a glance back in your direction. So much for your friendship. You waved your arm at Cove, summoning him to follow you, and ran after Lizzie. The old man's haulers propelled you all from the street to the sanctity of the hill. Only once you were safe did you notice the stitch in your chest and the ache of your legs. You flopped down, the blades of grass tickling your face. Lizzie, who had taken the lead in the end, was already lazing in the ground. The four of you took a moment to catch your breath and enjoy the feeling of the cool grass against your skin.
Cove.
Hey, Cove. Cove lifted his head. I told you there were mean grandparents around here. Cove rolled his eyes, then decided this wasn't dismissive enough, and rolled his whole body away from your sister. The backgrounds are so gorgeous, Alice. You're absolutely right. It is beautiful art. Lizzie chose to ignore his response and started chatting to Shiloh, who eagerly joined in the conversation. In the back of your mind, you knew you'd always be second fiddle again to Shiloh once Lizzie came around. It always went like that. You still felt a little sad after how much time you spent together today. It was fine, you thought, and it was always annoying. I don't have to be everybody's best friend. I got Cove. Shiloh could prefer Lizzie as much as he wanted to. There were other things to attend to anyway. You wriggled closer to Cove. He had calmed down for the most part and was inspecting a flower. His fingers pinched in the stem and tilted the white petals towards him. That's a poppy. Cove glanced at you in acknowledgement, then back to the flower. And the type of poppies on this hill have the name white linen poppy. Mom told me. He quirked a smile. That's funny. He ran a finger around the edge of the petals. It doesn't feel like a cloth. You'd need a lot of them to make anything. He nodded and released the delicate plant. Evaluation complete. This is my favorite kind of flower, but I didn't know what it was called. Thanks. Whoa! Whoa! So many options, holy shit! It's mine too. I like roses, buttercups, snapdragons, hibiscuses, peonies, orchids, tulips, sunflowers, all flowers. I don't care about flowers. Type your own fucking answer. Yo, what? Anyone in chat got opinions? So many. What type of flower would a baby left terrace like? Yeah, fair. That's fair. It's mine too. Without doxing myself, I can't say too much, but I have a bias for roses. Roses are great. Although I think I'm gonna pick orchids. I think orchids are fucking rad as shit. You're really Tuxedo Mask? Spoilers. Here's a free salt fact for y'all. Talking about roses. Here's a free salt fact for you. Speaking of being a hopeless romantic in the earlier conversation, in grade 8, I had my first like real girlfriend in grade 8, and we were still dating at grade 8 graduation. And I thought it would be really, really cute to give my girlfriend roses. And I asked for and paid for with my own money blue roses. And I gave my girlfriend at the time blue roses in fucking grade 8. And that shit wasn't cheap. We broke up 2 months later. Middle school relationship moment. Yeah, you know it. You know the moment where you're dating the first person ever in your life and like, this is the person I'll be with forever, and you maybe date 3 months. It was over before high school started. It's better to have loved and lost than to never have dated in middle school at all. Yeah. Fair. Those flowers are super fancy and come in all sorts of colors and stuff. Some even pretend to be like bugs. They do? I mean, I managed to make it work with a blue rose for nearly 7 years, so... True, Mara. Whoa! I never even made that connection before. Holy fuck, Mara. Apparently I was dating somebody for the entirety of 8th grade and didn't know until she broke up with me. Wow, that is the most grade 8 mood I've ever heard in my life. Yep, they trick real bugs by looking like one. Wow, you know everything. Not everything, but thanks. You moved onto your back with a small smile and looked at the darkening sky. When I said I was a useless lesbian, I meant it. Well done, Alice. I'm proud of you. The blanket of clouds reminded you of a thick throw you curled under on a cold, rainy day. You wondered if the clouds would be as soft. They lazily floated on by, splitting from each other, merging and morphing into new shapes. You saw a dolphin, you saw a car, you saw an alpaca, you saw a smiley face, you saw cloud shapes. You saw a dolphin. Yeah, fucking dolphin! You saw a dolphin leaping through the sky. You nudged Cove and pointed to it. Look, a dolphin. Thanks, it's the neurodivergence. Ayy! Cove joined you in gazing skywards. Yeah, I see it. Really? No, but I like dolphins. Okay, but like cloud-shaped are so underrated by themselves. They're so interesting, and they don't have to look like anything because they're just the prettiest shapes ever. Honestly, like, my favorite is like a sunset sky with clouds in the sky and like the pink reds of the sunset kind of bursting through the clouds and giving you this crazy array of shades between like pinks, oranges, and reds. That is top tier sky. You just happen to put all your points into art instead of flirtation. You can only min-max so much. True. Hey. You chuckled at your reaction. So true, Salt. Right, Alice? What can I say? You need to paint more skies? Do it, Alice. That'd be amazing. You have a perfect watercolor brush for it? Hell yeah. All the sun's light faded from the sky, and the moon rose higher. Lizzie got to her feet, dusting strands of grass from her bare legs, and surveyed her surroundings. The ocean, visible from the crest of the hill, beckoned with every sweep of the tide. Let's go to the beach! There was no argument from the other two. Shiloh was still Shiloh, and Cove would never say no to going to the shore. He was a child of the sea. You wanted to go there too, were too tired to argue, were happy to do what others wanted, object to the plan. I always want to go to the beach. There's literally not a time when I don't want to go to the beach. That's like true for me too. If somebody says to me, hey Salt, do you want to go to the beach? And I can, the answer is yes. Alice, I love that you're getting so much out of the art. That makes me really, really happy. So you eagerly join the others in descending the hill down to the water. You stepped onto the sand for the second time that day, but it felt different at night. The beach was nearly quiet at this hour. Abandoned sandcastles and footsteps in the sand, too big to belong to any of you, were the only indication of how busy it had been only hours earlier. The four of you kicked shoes off and removed socks and walked along the water's edge. The waves tickled at your feet. I wonder what it would be like if you tried to take a bath in the ocean with shampoo and everything. That would be bad for the fish.
Jeez.
I didn't say anyone would do it. Jeez, you don't have to be serious about everything. You're the one who asked what would happen. That is what would happen. It'd hurt the fishes. I like bubble baths at home. They're a lot of fun. Me too. Bubble baths are luxurious. You'd never heard Lizzie use that word before. I was about to say... Mommy loves to have bubbles in her bath. She'll turn the lights off and have candles. I'm gonna do that next time. Hey, when's your mom coming to pick you up anyway? Not for a while. She's busy. What about your dad? How come you never talk about him? Nobody does. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Don't you know you're not supposed to ask something like that? Why would somebody want to talk about something they never talk about? You kept your eyes to the ground, watching your toes get swallowed up by the waves. Even if Shiloh never seemed upset when this topic came up, it made you feel awkward just for having both of your moms. It's okay. I'm like Lizzie and Cygnus. I don't have a dad. But I don't have two mums. I just have one. She's really great. Oh, sorry. I only have one now, too. My mom isn't here. She's back home. It's just my dad with me.
Sorry.
Aw, I never had a dad or anything. I don't feel bad. It's really sad that your mom is gone. Cove nodded. Ooh, no, that is bad. You do not joke about Shiloh's mom getting together with Cove's dad. No, 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 no. Bad, bad, bad. Even if they're all different, our parents are good in their own ways. You didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cove couldn't muster a response. You don't think he truly disagreed, though. Wait, who is Shiloh then? Like, why is he here? Shiloh is, like, another friend, and he gets dropped off a lot. No, he's not our brother. He's like another friend. He gets dropped off a lot by his mom. Obviously, it seems to be a single mom raising a kid, so, like, when she goes to work, Shiloh has to go somewhere, and he, I guess, hangs out with the other kids. That way, he's not all alone. The silence broke with a splash as Lizzie kicked in your direction. Cold water and sodden sand splattered against your legs. I thought Lizzie was Cove's sister. No, Lizzie is our sister. Lizzie is our sister. So Cove is a single child, or only child. Shiloh is an only child, and then Lizzie and I are siblings. Lizzie giggled, foot still outstretched from the kick. Don't even know how I came to that conclusion. That's fair. Cove joined in, striking the incoming waves to make a splash of his own. Shiloh scurried out of Cove's spray zone with a grin. You made a run for it, you retaliated. Yeah, we're getting into this. Because Lizzie bosses everyone around like she's their older sister. It's true, she's the oldest and she just bosses everybody around like that. You used your foot to smack the water pooling around you, sending an arc of sea foam flying back onto your sister. You laughed as she sputtered, getting some of the salty seawater having landed in her mouth. She spat it out. Yuck! Lizzie chased you, intent on revenge. You dashed up and down the coast, taking it in turns to be the predator and the prey, as well as joining forces to take down Shiloh or Cove. Alliances were silently forged and wordlessly broken. Everything was fair game in war. Shiloh's brief exclamation was drowned out by the biggest splash yet, caused by him falling face first onto the ground. That would have been bad enough without the wave that followed, cascading over his prone body. Oh, he's soaked. Shiloh sat up, shaking his head like a dog coming in from the rain, as you all hurried over to check on him. His hair was plastered to his head, and his soaked clothes clung. If there was any part of him that was still dry, you couldn't see it. Yeah, F's in chat for Shiloh. That was crazy. Are you okay? Yeah, my foot got stuck and I fell over.
You Dumbo.
Way to go, Shiloh, you Dumbo. You offered him some help up. Yeah, let's help him up. Shiloh didn't take your outstretched hand. After a moment, you dropped it. Lizzie was too busy snickering to notice and held her hand out to Shiloh, too. He reached over and took it. Slowly, he started to pull himself from the ground. Then he slipped on the slick sand, dragging him and Lizzie down just in time for another wave to hit. The water rolled over them.
Sorry.
Sorry. What were the odds of that happening twice in a row? You thought they must be low. There's no way Shiloh would do something like that on purpose and then pretend it was an accident. Especially not to Lizzie. But even if your relationship with Shiloh felt unclear, he did at least like her a lot. Lizzie was his favorite, right? Smiling boldly, Lizzie extracted herself from the ground and wiped a streak of sand from her cheek. She didn't intend to let this embarrass her. Shiloh got up as well, this time without incident. He still looked like a drowned puppy, but that didn't stop Cove laughing at the two of them. With that, it was time to call it a day. The four of you made the journey back home, leaving a trail of wet footsteps and sand in your wake. Damp clothes may have weighed down some of the group, but your spirits were high. You swung your arms side to side as a cool breeze flowed past. Your moms were outside, chatting to Cove's dad. Sand! We're back! Your mom's faces fell as they took in the state you were all in, ranging from messy to soaked.
Now.
I forgot how gay I am. What a wonderful reminder. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Elizabeth, is that all you have to say for yourself? You brought half the beach back with you. They certainly did. What's Marigold going to do when she comes to get Shiloh? Is that how you want him to be for the long drive home? Cold and filthy? Lizzie's expression turned sulky over the scolding. Being the oldest could be fun, but it also meant she was the first to get in trouble when something went wrong. Mr. Holden, on the other hand, chuckled as he ruffled Cove's matted hair. You've been out making memories, bucko? I'm glad you had a good time with your friends. They low-key look like Korosami. Ooh. Cove used his slightly moist cast arm to push his dad off. Mr. Holden's eyes widened when he noticed that even that had gotten wet. Now he was worried too. I think they could have found a less risky way to spend time and had just as much fun. That might be right. Kids, what can you do? Come on, Cove. Let's go get you cleaned up and dried off. We wouldn't want that cast to have to be reset. Cove winced at the thought.
Okay.
Hey. That a boy. Mr. Holden casually bent down and plucked Cove up off the ground, ultimately holding Cove against his chest. Sand was already transferring from Cove onto him, but it didn't seem to bother Mr. Holden. Cove.
Raid.
Backseat Gaming Crew, what is good? Come on in. Welcome. Big shoutouts to Backseat. Playing some Axiom Verge. Hell yeah. Working on speedrun stuff. That's awesome. We are playing the fucking cutest and most wholesome game on the planet. This game is called Our Life, Beginnings and Always. It's a visual novel. It's really fucking adorable. And yeah, welcome in. We're just vibing and having a chill night. This is kind of like a big departure from what I normally do. We're just vibing and chilling. I'm, using my skills as a radio broadcaster to tell everybody a story. I hope you're doing well, Backseat. I hope everything's good. Hello to everybody else as well. Hope you're doing well. Right now in the story, give you a minute? No problem, Backseat. Take your time. Right now in the story, we're kids. The game kind of goes through your entire life from, like, childhood to, I think, early adulthood or maybe adolescence. I'm not sure. And right now we're still kids. We are just kids and life is a nightmare. Cove protested being carried, but only got a reassuring pat on the back for his trouble.
Take care.
Good night, Cove. Thank you for the talk, Cliff. Oh my god, we finally found out his name. Cove's dad's name is Cliff. We finally know, and of course his name is Cliff. Night, Downey family, and Shiloh too. There's 4 steps with a 5-year gap between each step. Ah, that's it. Yeah. So 5, 5, 5, and 5. Cliff Holden. Why do I feel like his dad was a rock climber? Why do I feel like the grandfather was a rock climber, named his kid Cliff, and then he's a surfer and named his kid Cove? Why do I feel like that's what happened? Resigned to his fate, Cove twisted his body in his dad's arms in order to turn around and wave goodbye. Oh man, I like this deep lore. What can I say? This is what I do. Smiling, you waved back. Good night.
Fine, fine.
Well, we better do what we want. We better do what we can to fix you guys up too. Come on, everybody inside. I want you to march straight to the downstairs bathroom.
Ugh.
Yes, Mom. Okay, Lizzie's mom. Definitely giving older Korosami vibes. I wonder if that's intentional. Don't worry about stopping to wipe your feet on the mat this time. That won't do much good tonight. Sitting on an old beach towel your mommy found, you waited in the hall until you were less sandy. You weren't allowed to go into your room or walk around the house. But you did get to eat a sandwich for dinner there. It felt like an indoor picnic. It had been decided that Shiloh would wash first and borrow some of your clothes. He was already finished and packed away in his mom's car. Ms. Fields had come to collect him a little while ago. Sand. So much sand. Sand everywhere. Exclamation mark sand. It was a bit of a funny experience seeing him without that hat on for once. Lizzie, being much more soaked than you, got to go in the tub next. But it wasn't a bubble bath as she had hoped. This was a no fun allowed cleanup session. At least that's what she claimed. Not much longer, and it would be your turn. When the bath was done, you'd have to go right to bed. Sand would bring up, either bring up the rant or the Anakin Soul Shaker. Both? I mean, if it's gonna be both, I'm gonna make that a channel point redeem. After days like this, though, you were glad there weren't going to be any further events. Drifting off to sleep sounded like a great idea. There it is. That was a long day. Salt, stop making your redeems actually worth redeeming. Listen, if you choose to not spend any of your salt so that you can get a $500,000 redeem, that's on you, Alice. That's entirely on you. All right, let's just do these in order. Let's start with library. That is holy shit. The art on this car, though? Can we talk about how nice this car looks? Like, that legitimately looks really good. Like, really good. Fucking HD car. Isn't there a button to, like, make the chat window go away for a second? Also, we need to save. H. Like, look at that. Look at that. That is next level art. Like, whoever drew this should honestly and truly do art for, like, a car company. Or exclamation mark sand brings up the rant in chat, and a sand point redeem has the audio and brings up Anakin Soul Shaker. You know what, Pint? You know what, Pint? That Dinex! Thank you so much for the resub. You like this BMW commercial? Good, I'm glad. Good, I am glad you like it. Thank you so much for that resub. You fucking rock. Thank you. I feel like Sand should just have Salt being like, Sand! All of my points are being saved for the upcoming Outer Wilds war. Oh my god. Also, while we're at it, hang on. Shout out Dinex. So, how are things? Welcome back, Backseat. Things are good. We are having a super chill vibe stream tonight. We're playing a game called Our Life, Beginnings and Always. It's like the most wholesome visual novel that has ever existed. And it's my first time ever playing a visual novel, so we're kind of putting my radio voice to work and basically reading everybody's story. And we're just all vibing and chatting, having a good time. How are you doing, Backseat? Were you doing speedrunning stuff? Pardon me. I honestly cannot tell if this is painted on top of an actual render of a car, and that's impressive. Yeah, it is stunning art. It really is. Every year, the Sunset Bird Memorial Library held a summer reading program. Your moms and Lizzie were big fans of it. Mom and Mommy because it encouraged reading, and Lizzie because she could win prizes. When it came to what you thought about having to read a bunch of books and then going to the library with a competitive Lizzie, you loved it, you didn't care, you hated it. I like reading, especially as a kid. We'll say I loved it. This brain is telling me to cry for some reason. My brain is telling me to cry for some reason. This game is so pretty and it's making my brain short circuit. Damn, that's valid, Alice. Did I neglect to tell you you'll be running Axiom Verge 2 at AGDQ? Wait, that's officially happening? I know that you had applied. Like, I know that you had, like, submitted a run. Did you get approved? Dude! When is that happening? Holy shit, Backseat. Like, for real, when is that happening? I can't miss that. It's in January? Yo! Yo! A second fucking shout out for Backseat. Y'all, for those of you who don't know what AGDQ is, it's awesome games done quickly. It is like the speedrunning Olympics. Basically, people showcase amazing speedruns of amazing games for, what, like a week or something? Or like a weekend? And raising money for charity while it's happening. It's an amazing event. If you want to see gamers fucking top tier, just crushing games at a level that you wouldn't even fucking believe, you need to see it. And Backseat, we've got a fucking runner in our chat right now. I'm like honored. Like, Backseat, you fucking legend. That is so amazing. And you're the 5th run of the event? Yo, my dude. Congratulations. Get some fucking hype in chat. That's sick. I can't wait to watch that run. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Like, I want to make it very, very clear, Backseat. You have express permission to bug the shit out of me about it, like, when it's getting close. Because I've got the memory like a goldfish, but I really want to fucking see it. And I want to make sure I'm supporting you for it. Because that's fucking next level. Well done, dude. Well fucking done. It's true, and we got the follower hype emote right now, so y'all can do it. Yo, that's so cool. January 9th at 5:16. Hell yeah. And it's on a Sunday? Oh, that's easy mode. That's so fucking easy mode. Hell yeah. Hell fucking yeah. Because it's gonna be on the GDQ. It's gonna be on the GDQ Twitch page, right? Because if that's the case, we'll do a watch party. We'll fucking watch that shit. It's gonna be amazing. I have a work friend who was super hyped about AGDQ. Like, every shirt he has is AGDQ, and he looks forward to each event all year. Yo, that's amazing. No, fucking GDQ is always a fucking blast. I think I talked about it before. It got taken down, sadly. But, like, one of my favorite GDQ runs of all time is a 20-minute Sonic 1 run, where the guy who does it does some speedrun strats that are, like, before him were only possible in a tool-assisted speedrun. He's the first human being to actually be able to, like, do it. And it's fucking wild. I love GDQ. That shit is so much fun. I'm really excited for that, Backseat. Yeah, I like doing blind runs and stuff too. That shit's wild too. Your Axiom Verge run is now 11 minutes. Holy shit. Holy shit. That's fucking wild. Love that. Alright, let's get back to this story. Getting to hang out with Lizzie and Shiloh and learn new stuff was a lot of fun, even if Lizzie was super intense about it. You and Lizzie went with Shiloh before, and this year, you brought Cove too. His dad had been so over the moon about Cove being included that he'd driven all 4 of you. You had never been in Cove's dad's car before. It seemed a lot shinier than your mom's. Oh, this is Cliff's car? Man, Cliff's balling out. Sombra, hello. Yo, hang on. Backseat, you just gonna casually flex like that in my chat? There's only 2 people in the world with a sub 11 time? You fucking next level legend. When I eventually get around to playing Axiom Verge, I'm gonna be like so very much like, do not perceive me. I'm gonna be so fucking embarrassed playing that game. That's wild. To have one of the top 2 fucking score, like, times in a game, in any game, that's... fuck. Your Axiom Verge 1 rando time is like 14 minutes. Jesus. How are you doing, Sombra? A quote from last week's Our Live stream. Hey, Cove, your dad's a fucking baller, bro. I mean, that's true, actually. That is true. He was just casually just dropping money last time, too, wasn't he? The game is making it very clear that these families are not struggling. I mean, it certainly helps that they live in a small town in the middle of fucking nowhere. Like, property prices when you live in literal fuck-off nowhere, way cheaper. Way cheaper. These are not city home prices. Like, my mom is not a rich person by any stretch of the imagination, but she has a giant house on 2 acres of land because she's in the middle of nowhere. Like, there's fucking nothing. So, like, it helps that they live in dinky bullshit town 37. You had Axiom Verge world record for a few weeks? Fuck yeah, Backseat. I believe in you. You can get that shit again. You got this. After hurting the group inside, Mr. Holden gave you all a wide wave with the arm that has a stingray on it. But yes, Sombra, welcome into the chill vibes. I hope I don't make you fall asleep. Well, actually, you know what? I kind of do hope I make you fall asleep. As much as I love having you in chat, if I can help you get to sleep, that'd be amazing. I can't wait to hear your name in a Summoning Salt video and be like, I know that dude. Right? Right? Big love to you, Sombra. Have fun, kids. Stay inside of librarians, you hear? I wish I could watch you in action, but your poor old dad has to finish up some work.
I got it.
Though, I'm sure that won't get in the way. Heck, I'd probably hold you kids back. There's pointedly no reply from his son over what was likely meant as only a joke. Cove's dad seems to deflate a bit. I'll swing around again when the shindig ends. I gotta say though, Cliff is trying. He's trying so hard. I do want to know the rest of the story between, like, Cove's dad and Cove's parents. But I do have to say, as far as I can tell, Cliff is really, really, really trying his hardest here. And I respect that. Yeah, you can go home now.
Aw.
Oh, you don't have to throw me out the door. You're Your sister, already in full competition mode, cut him off. For once, Cove looked grateful she was there.
Come on!
We have to go find a table, Mr. Holden. You can talk to Cove after. When we win... Okay. See you in about an hour. Have fun. Did I say that already? My advanced age is catching up to me now.
Bye.
Bye, Dad. Bye, son. The four of you watched him shuffle out of the library, glancing over his shoulder at Cove one more time.
Bye!
Bye, Mr. Holden. Thank you for bringing us. Thanks, Lizzie. Eternally grateful that I share a time zone with Salt. Alice, you are too sweet. This is also why I try to do those weekend streams where I stream a little bit earlier. I try to get in earlier streams where I can. Herb, need to get some food? Hell yeah, backseat. You take care of yourself post-stream. I don't know what you're thanking me for. Are you copying Shiloh? Distracted, Cove was already glancing around the gigantic library. I want to go explore. What? I said I want to go look around and see what's in here. But the quiz starts soon. That's why we came. Wide at the first signs of conflict, Shiloh's eyes darted between Lizzie and Cove. I don't like sharing my time zone with anyone. It's mine. Mine. All of Eastern Standard Time. It belongs to me. I don't know why, but sure, I'll be a 90s villain. You can have mine instead. I don't want it. Yeah, just casual time zone trading. Oddly specific villain goals. Listen, unironically, if I had any aspirations to be a voice actor, just once, I want to be the main villain in something, whether it be a video game or like a TV show or something. I would love to voice the big bad evil villain in something. That's what I want to do. I would love to do that once as a voice actor. I think that would be so much fucking fun. I would have such a blast. I'll be the only one in Ontario to have UK time zones. Hell yeah, Joe, you got that. You can have the UK one too. I don't want it either. Oh my god. And you can do it without me, right? You don't need a bunch of people. Didn't your dad say to stay with the librarians? You shouldn't go somewhere by yourself. Cove leveled an unimpressed stare at the both of them. Then his eyes met yours. Oh, here we go.
Hey!
Why are you looking at him? Cygnus is with us. Cygnus can come if he wants to. You can be the evil villain in my stream? Oh, are you doing something that's gonna have voicing? I'll be the evil villain in your stream. I'm kind of the evil villain in the Roblin stream. Nope, but you can do it anyway. Absolutely, we'll do it. I love it. Sombra straight up is just wanting to do some trading places shit. Welcome back, backseat. See, I hate these choices. These choices suck. Because I'm gonna piss somebody off no matter what I pick. Yup, please adopt me into Canada. I mean, it shouldn't be that hard for you to move here from the UK. Just, you know, just casually pack up your entire life. Easy peasy. And you're golden. Casual. Yeah, it's easy. It's simple. You cannot appease everyone. Yeah, I can't wait for my sister to grow up hating me. Did I finish Dread? Yes, I did, Backseat. I finished it on Monday. I 100%ed the regular difficulty, and I fucking loved it. What a game. What a goddamn game. Top tier.
Seriously?
There we go. Pissed off Lizzie. If what my dad said when I was a kid is true, you can swim to Canada from the UK. Yeah, absolutely. Just use that X-Empire power that move. Yeah, there you go. Now do 0%. Oh my god, Backseat. I don't think I could. That final boss, the final boss of that game on a 0% run? He migrated to Canada when he was 11 and he swam here, and dads are always meant to be believed. Imagine it with only 99 energy. Well, I mean, like, with only 99 energy, it just means that everything is a one-hit kill, so you have to do that entire boss run without getting hit once. I was yelling at you so much during that, I had tips. Yeah, I mean... I still figured it out. We got there. Now that I've beaten it all alone on my own, the next time I play it, I will happily look at... like, clues. I hate the Gatling gun in Phase 2. Also, I just want to say, I first tried Phase 3. The first time I got to Phase 3, I first tried it. So, like... I'm just saying. Yeah, Ravenbeak is such a fucking wild final boss, though. Yeah, I did not first try any phase. It's a tough boss fight. If people can no-hit run Dark Souls, they scare me. Anyone who no-hit runs a Dark Souls game terrifies me. Like, actually terrifies me. Dread is a hard game. It's a great game, but it is a hard game. Both look surprised, but happy at the same time. Alright, I think we've just hard decided that we're just fully romancing Cove and fucking over every other relationship in this game. I think that's how we're playing this. He knew this was one of the things you like doing with your family, but you'd chosen time with him anyway. I managed to figure out the Gatling gun, though. You get close to him and just go around him in circles. You can screw attack faster than he aims as long as you're close to him. Oh. Fine. Let's go, Shiloh. Okay. Her arms folded, your sister stormed off. Shiloh had to race to keep up with her. She cares a lot about that. That's just how Lizzie is. I don't like it. Since you've been here a lot before, we could play hide and seek. Best thing you can do for the Gatling, get underneath him as he's charging it, melee to the side, hit L to lock aim during the melee, and he'll just miss you? Really? Weird. That's wild. Hide and seek? Not exploring? Yep. If I'm searching for you and you're searching for me, we'll really have to look at everything. You weren't entirely sure of how effective that would be, but couldn't say he wasn't totally wrong. I'll hide first. Something pixel something. That's fucking wild, Backseat. Decision made. Cove took off towards the back of the library. You'd already agreed to play with him instead, so you covered your face and waited for 10 seconds. When you looked up again, he was nowhere to be seen. Also, this is a bit of a bop. You glanced over towards the way he went. Cove hadn't had much time to hide, but he was already invisible. place you decided to check was next to a Peter Pan poster, beside the fairy tale display, behind the solar system model. The library's solar system display was pretty neat. It had all of the planets from the sun on out, and it had its own little section hidden in the science books. But you saw a tiny pair of familiar shoes poking out from under the earth, so you leaned around it. Hey there.
Hey.
Oh, hey. He turned back to the earth and its tiny moon. From this spot, I think it's supposed to be a solar eclipse. I knew he was going to hang out near the planets. It kind of blocks out the sun. You looked at it, tilting your head. He was right. This thing was something you always walked by, but you never noticed that before. Hide and seek did seem to be working out for finding interesting things.
Okay.
Your turn now. I'm going to cover my eyes and count to 10. I promise I won't peek. Cove had his eyes securely behind the palms of his hands, and you went to go hide by the fire awareness station, near the stuffed animals, under the giant piece of fruit, by the outlaw poster, in the fantasy section, near the toddler books. Fantasy section! You decided to hide from Cove in the fantasy section. So, interesting thing about this vignette, all the hiding places give you info for the questions you'd be answering with Lizzie and Shiloh if you'd gone with them. Oh, that's clever. That's a clever way to use the same... That is a DM trick. How to use the same information that you prepared in two different ways. He had never really mentioned being interested in fantasy, so you had a pretty good odds of hiding there for a while. If you didn't pay attention to it, or read it much, you might just glance over it. And you were right. Sort of. He left you waiting for a while, long enough that you eventually pushed yourself to your feet to stretch your legs. You won the round, but Cove wasn't even trying. Over the edge of a shelf, you saw him standing and staring at a bunch of books. Do you want to stop playing or something? Cove froze in place. Ah!
Sorry.
Sorry, I was gonna come find you soon. It's alright, what's, You gestured at the shelf full of books and the one in his hand that had clearly been taking up all of his attention. They're the Narnia series. They have talking animals and a magic land and intense fights. And my mom used to read them with me. Oh. Her favorite one was Susan. You weren't sure what to do. You weren't sure what he would do. His mom was always a sensitive topic. But he took the book back on the shelf, and that was all. It was nice the memories made him happy instead of sad this time.
Alright.
It's my turn again. Start counting so I can go pick a spot. Okay. Cove darted off before you even had a chance to fully close your eyes. 1 Mississippi. When the time was up, he was long gone. Again. There were still a lot of good places to hide, so you figured he was... behind the Willy Wonka statues. He must be next to all the Willy Wonka statues, you thought. And you were right. Cove was standing there looking at them. You must have missed him in the crowd at first sight. But he wasn't really hiding at all. Oh hey. These are creepy. The statues are made of brass, Lizzie told you once. Apparently, they were all the kids that had gone to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. Charlie Bucket, Augustus Gloop, Veruca Salt. Veruca Salt. I was gonna hide here, but they're too weird. Let's keep playing. I need to do good in at least one round. He put his hands over his eyes, but before you could run off again, the librarian approached the two of you. Ah, kids, I've been looking for you. Did you know that if you order Skip the Dishes every day for 80 years, it will cost you $500,000? Wow, that's a wild statement, Phoenix. I had no idea. Huh. Joe, have a great night. Thank you for hanging out while we've been vibing. Appreciate you being here. I hope you take care and have a great sleep. 20 a day is all it takes? That's wild. Have a great night, all. Take care. That's wild. Yeah, $20 a day does add up pretty quick. Cove peeked between his fingers at the stranger. Us? You must be Cove. Your dad told me he was waiting by the entrance. Cove blinked, mouth opening like he was going to say something, and then glanced down at his pink cast. It was a pretty clear giveaway. Sure. Leaving stream running, though. Joe, you rock. Thank you for the lurk. I appreciate that. Is my sister Lizzie with him? She's taller than us and has orange hair. You're Cygnus, right? You nodded. I found both of you at once. That's right, she's with him, and the little guy with freckles. Come on, let's go get you reunited so we can close up for the night. Ready to go home, you and Cove followed him up front, where the ragtag group of family members and Shiloh were all waiting. There you are! She was pouting. You could tell from all the way across the room, and it was only that much more obvious as you got closer. Did you win? We came in second! Hey gang, I thought you'd have been with them the whole time, Cove. I'm glad you didn't just go off by yourself, at least. Cove glanced over at you, then back up at his dad.
Yeah.
Me too. A broad smile spread over Mr. Holden's face.
That's...
Even so... Next time you should... Cove? Cove? Cove's dad glanced around, slightly frantic, but Cove, just like always, had snuck off without thinking to say anything. He's leaving! Cove's trying to be the first one to the car! With a sudden burst of speed, Lizzie darted for the exit, still in Victor to be mode, even for something like a race to ride in the front seat. There was nothing else for the three of you to do except head after them, pretending the librarians hadn't noticed all the commotion. Though Lizzie had been victorious in claiming a window seat in the car, you could tell by her crossed arms and occasional pout that she had not forgiven your betrayal. You found it? Hell yeah, backseat. Give me 2 seconds if you're gonna post it, because otherwise you're gonna get a quick ban. You can drop that link in here now. Perfect. Is it actually gonna open? Nice. I will look at this a little bit later, because that's wild. Quick ban? She's cute. I know her well. Ah, yes, the infamous streamer, Quick Ban. Pay attention around 1 minute in. Yeah, I'll take a look at that after this chapter. Cove sighed when he had to sit in the middle after Lizzie shot past him at the last second, but he cheered up some as you hopped in the back seat next to him. Wanna play some Overwatch with one of my mods? Have fun. Yo, have a great time, backseat. Enjoy your Overwatch times. And thank you again for the raid. You rock. Did you say you came in second place? That's some good going.
No.
No, it's not. She levied another glare at you over her shoulder.
Sure.
I'll make sure to pester you in January. Yeah, you better. I want to see that shit. It's going to be amazing. Sure. Striving to improve is good, too. Cove, that makes Cygnus the winner in your family. Oh my god, Cove! Cove, you fucking troll. I don't even think you're trying to be a troll. I genuinely don't think you're trying to be a troll. But holy shit. That's me.
What?
What? Cygnus kept finding me in our game. I lost. We need a rematch. Hide and seek with just you two? That doesn't even count as winning.
Why?
Why not? It's not special. There's no judges or prizes. You eyed the seat that she fought so hard to win. That wasn't much of a prize either. Cove, you do not realize just how savage that was. Yeah, it was fucking ruthless. Dad? Yes? You could see Cove's dad's eyes in the rearview mirror, suddenly attentive at his son's call. We need a prize. Oh, As a matter of fact, Holden focused intently on the road ahead as though a suitable reward to please Cove might appear before him.
Right.
Right, the big thing on the flyer for this was a chance to win a free pizza coupon, wasn't it? How about I call up a takeout place and we can have pizza at home for dinner? Lizzie huffed, pulling her arms closer to her chest. Is Mom even going to let you take a pizza from Mr. Holden? We'll see. I'll ask her. I'll talk to all of your moms about this. Come on, stock picture of a car interior. That's not a picture, Lollipop. That's a drawing. That's hand-drawn, or digitally drawn. Like, look at that. That is not a picture, Lollipop. Also, hello, how are you? I'm not gay, but Cove's dad is beautiful. All the gay. Cove's dad is fucking gorgeous. And Cove's dad is a twang. Oh, never mind, that's a digital draw. Yeah, Lollipop, it is a next-level digital draw. It's so good. Conspicuous Colin, what's good? Thank you for the 12 hours. Yeah, I wrote an album in 12 hours, and it's completely free. We did it on this. We did that on stream on Sunday. Hello, everybody. What? Happy birthday, Sydney. Yo, everybody, what's good? Isn't Sid streaming? Hello. Hello, everybody. What? Pang, what's good? Hello, hello, hello. We are vibing tonight. We're just doing a chill thing. Nah, she took a break, so I couldn't raid her. Ah, hello. I see. It's okay. I'll make sure to take all this, and we are going to go raid. We will be raiding Sid when we're done. That is where we're going. If anybody was surprised about what the raid target is going to be tonight, it is going to be Sydney motherfucking Jetta, aka Corpse Mom, because it is her birthday tonight. So when stream is done, we're all going over there. I'm just going to make that clear in case anybody was wondering where the raid was going tonight when the stream is over. It's going there, because it is Corpse Mom's birthday. Shout out to Corpse Mom, incredible human being. Also, shout out to Pang. I don't know if the shout out got buried in the raid. Hello, everybody. Good to see you. My name is the True Salt King. Yeah, it's a command, not how long the stream will go for. It is not a 12-hour stream. It is not a 12-hour stream. We did a 12-hour stream on Sunday. Sorry to confuse everybody. We did a 12-hour stream on Sunday where I wrote an album in 12 hours. I wrote 7 songs in 12 hours on stream on Sunday, and that album is now available for free. You can get it on Bandcamp for free to give a listen to it. If you exclamation mark 12 hours, you get a link to the album. You can see the album that I wrote in 7 hours. And Phoenix definitely fucking helped out with a whole bunch of them. Yeah, sorry about the confusion on that. Nah, this one's not the 12-hour stream because I just did it. All 7 songs carried it. Nah, Phoenix supplied some amazing synths on the 3rd and 4th tracks for the album. But today we are playing Our Life, Beginnings and Always. It is an awesome visual novel. It's wholesome as fuck, and we're just vibing. Normally my streams are pretty chaotic, but tonight we're just all vibes. Gotta head out, but have fun with the VN. Pang, you fucking legend. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the raid. Let's all vibe, and I hope you take care. And yes, we will be going to give that love right on to Corpse Mom after stream is done. Gonna be lurking, laying down on the sofa, enjoying all the chill vibes. Hell yeah, hydration appreciation, what's good? Aw, these fucking emotes are so good. I love these. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Did I miss anybody else in the raids? Who else came in? Pasta John is here. Hell yeah, he is. Fucking love y'all. Alright, let's do this.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Holden. Yeah, thanks, Dad. You're welcome. I do what I can. What are we playing? This car is empty. We are playing Our Life, Beginnings and Always. It is a visual novel. It takes place in 4 chapters, each one 5 years later. So you start around the age of 8, and then it's like 13, 18, and then you're like young adult. And it's super fucking wholesome. It's about you and your new friend, new kid who just moved to town named Cove. and you're becoming friends, and there's a chance that maybe later on when you're a bit older, you might be romantically connected. Who knows? But it's a really cute and wholesome story, so we just vibing. I hope some of the cleanup strats for kicks and snares and the base support methods help you out. Phoenix, that shit was amazing, and it is going to help me out a lot. Oh, here comes the lecture. But you really should have stuck with the group. The quiz would have been fun. That was the plan when I dropped you off. We stayed together and didn't leave the library. I'm glad for that. I am. Well, there's a lot of trouble you can get into even if you do have a buddy along for the ride. Just be careful next time. I worry about you, and I bet Cygnus's parents wouldn't want him to run off unexpectedly either. Okay, son?
Okay.
Okay. Oh my god, it's a wholesome interaction between the two of them. That was actually really nice. That's my boy. Now, enough guff from your old dad. Let's see what kind of toppings we're gonna get. Pepperoni! Sounds good. Anything else? And the conversation continued from there with debates on what was the best to put on a pizza for the rest of the drive. Mr. Holden wanted anchovies, and the other 3 kids in the car had to band together to explain how gross they were. The way Cove's dad laughed up at the front seat made you wonder if he was doing it on purpose. Absolutely. Absolutely. Although I do firmly believe that Cliff Holden is definitely a pineapple on pizza guy. Mr. Holden is 100% a pineapple on pizza guy. You had a fun day already, but closing it out with the promise of a free pizza after all, and more time to hang out with Cove, made it even sweeter. It was a shame that you hadn't been able to do the quiz, but skipping it for just 1 year didn't hurt. It was worth it. Cliff eats a lot of fruit. Yeah, hell yeah. He's got shimmering skin. He's glowing. Nice. Alright, we got 4 more chapters to do. Let's do the ghost story. And a man who eats a lot of fruit, well, you know what that means. He has a very, very healthy diet. That's what it means. It couldn't possibly mean anything else. He definitely is not going to get scurvy, unlike the other people who live near the ocean. And that's great. We're happy for him. It means they like fruit. The night was incredibly still. Actually, guys, well, yeah. Mara is prepared for bonk-related violence, and it means they're not a pirate. And that's fine, not everybody has to be a pirate. The night was incredibly still. You really couldn't ignore how silent it was. It was almost eerie. You could even hear Lizzie snoring in the next room over. It was hard to believe how much of a blur today was. Summer sure did slip right past you. You flicked through the moments like pages in a scrapbook as you laid in bed. The ones that stuck out all seemed to include your new neighbor, Cove. It was funny how he'd become such a big part of your life in such a short span of time. Love your shirt, by the way. Oh, thank you. I picked this up on a cruise because I decided if I was going to be a tourist, I wanted to look like a tacky tourist. And it was like, I think like $5, maybe $10. I picked it up in Mexico. And I figured since this game takes place in a beach town, I would rock the flowers. How you doing, Map? Skeletor voice. Joke's on you, I'm into that. Not gonna lie, I'd wear that. It's really comfy. I got 2 of them. I got the same shirt in red. You thought a lot about what adventures you could have tomorrow until sleep started to catch up to you. Then, you heard something scrape against the window. It wasn't that uncommon for the wind to push a tree branch against the glass. Summer breezes were the worst sometimes. But the more you tried to ignore it, the louder it seemed like it became. It was like something was trying to get your attention. You lifted your head off the pillow to get a better look. Nothing was there. Nothing you could see, at least. Hawaiian-style shirts are great for the summer. Agreed. My aesthetic in the summer is what I like to call the trash aesthetic, where I will wear Hawaiian shirts with cut-off t-shirts underneath and jorts, because I am a classy and stylish white man. You have a blazer in that pattern. I love it because it looks dressed up but not dressed up. That's super fun. I mean, people should wear what they like, right? It comes down to it. That's as simple as that. Have you tried socks with sandals? No, because that makes me uncomfortable. Socks are my least favorite article of clothing. I only wear socks when I absolutely have to. And I kind of tricked my brain into liking socks by getting socks with cool patterns and shit on them. But I hate socks 99.9% of the time. You just went back to bed. It was only your imagination. You had to investigate the mysterious sound. It's too creepy to ignore. Yeah, we're gonna investigate. Salt looks like a permanent sandals dude, but like really good sandals or barefoot. Yeah, if I'm gonna own a sandal, it's gotta be high quality. But mostly, I'm a barefoot guy. I'm 100%. In the summer, I'm a barefoot kind of guy, for sure. Used to be the same, but then I got some really comfy seamless socks that don't fuck with my brain. Fuck yeah, Alice, that's amazing. His sprite form would def have shorts and sandals. Yeah, you know it. You know it. Yeah, like me as like a little sprite. Like if I was a Pokemon trainer, I think one of the Pokemon trainers I would be is like, if I was a water type Pokemon trainer, I would 5,000% be like sandals and shorts and just being like, yo, dude, Pokemon, we fucking love them. But honestly, if I was a Pokemon trainer, I'd be a fire type trainer. Fully and 100%, I would be a fire type trainer. Even though fire type sucks, I would be a fire type trainer. See, it's funny you say that, Phoenix, because like the tone of the bass line in this song reminds me of Yoshi's Island. It reminds me of like the cavern levels in Yoshi's Island. Not the notes, but the actual tone of the bass of the bass. You'd want to be a hiker only because you want so many rock, steel, and ground types? Yes. Socks with cool patterns on it. Have I visited Awesome Sock Club? A sock subscription service where 100% of the profits go to charity? Yo, Pint, I actually haven't. And I'd fucking love that shit. That sounds amazing. They just look cooler? Fuck yeah, Map. It's a MIDI 08 bass? Hell yeah, we love that shit. Hikers have great Pokemon. Your moms were still awake. They stayed up so late, it seemed. Luckily, they were watching TV and didn't hear the soft click of the front door opening as you slipped past. Yo, little kid, what are you doing sneaking out? You're gonna get... Oh, I'm gonna be in so much shit. Is it awesome? Yeah, I was gonna say, Mara, is it awesome with an E? Hell yeah, I'm gonna hold on to that. I'll hold on to that link. People have exported all sorts of sound games into SF2 files. Yeah, I know. That's how, like, Sylvagunner does their amazing audio rips. I don't know what type of trainer I'd be. It's a hard pick between Dragon, Ice, Dark, and Fairy. Those are all great types, Sombra. MIDI chips have been exported into SF2 for free on the internet, so you can use them as sampler in Ableton. That's how Toby Fox. Yeah, because he sampled a bunch of shit from Earthbound. There's some direct samples too. You looked around the neighborhood for a few seconds, checking over each individual house. It looked normal, but it didn't feel that way. You knew you weren't supposed to be out here right now. It was exhilarating. It made you regret your decision. It scared you. It was exhilarating. So waiting for the day we get a Dragon-type evolution. I'm curious if we're going to get more evolutions, because so far all the evolutions we've got were originally special attackers. We've done all the special attack typings of EVs now. So if we get any more evolutions, they're going to be like physical types. So I'm curious if they're just doing all the special types, or if they are going to do every single type. But I stand by it. The EV that I want the most is a fighting type EV, because a fighting type EV has the easiest name ever, and that's Champion. I want a fighting type EV named Champion so badly. A rock EV that's just a pet rock? I love it. Your chest was light, and you couldn't keep the grin from your face. No one had permitted you to go out. In fact, no one even knew you were out. And yet, here you were. Oh, there's the Awesome Socks Club. Okay, thank you for that link, Pint. Also, Pasta, I didn't say anything, but I saw that feet reaction. I saw that feet reaction, Pasta. I am not showing feet on stream. I'm not showing feet on stream. It is not that kind of stream. How you doing, Pasta? Can I get a shout out for Pasta John? Pasta __ John. The greatest mod on Twitch. Pasta, how's it? You're asking me how's it going? Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Pasta John, you're asking me how it's going? You know, it's going. Whoa, whoa, no doxing. That's it. Fucking love you. Thank you for being here, Pasta. Didn't know we had a celebrity in chat. Yeah, we do. Pasta is the biggest fucking celebrity on Twitch. You wondered what else you could do. What other rules could be that were so ingrained that you had never even considered that they could be broken? Uh-oh, the rebellion has begun in our little brain. No, 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 no. Oh, yeah, Pasta. Imagine having a synth you want to use but can't afford it, so you instead take a sample of every key, and then take all those files, line it up to a MIDI controller where each key triggers a sample. Yeah. Fuck yeah, Phoenix. We love that shit. Should I bow? Just salutes for Pasta. And if you got them, Riggy2 seduces. Dragon Evolution could be possible for special attackers. There's some outrageous Dragon-type special attacks. Yes, absolutely. So what I'm saying is, Sombra, back before Gen 4, so like Gen 1, Gen 2, and Gen 3, so red, blue, yellow, gold, silver, ruby, sapphire, and emerald, back in those days, all moves of a type were either physical or special. So all fire moves were special moves, all water moves were special moves, all dragon moves were physical moves, all fighting moves were physical moves. In Gen 4, they realized that doesn't make any fucking sense, and so they started designating attacks as physical attacks or special attacks separate from the type of attack that it was. But if you look at all the evolutions that exist, they were all pre-physical special split. They were all special attacker types. That's what I was trying to say. So dragon type back in the day was always, all dragon type attacks were physical type attacks back in the day. So it's a weird thing that's happened, and people haven't figured out if that was like an intentional thing or just a fluke. And now they've done all of the types that were previously special attacker types. So they're not sure if we're actually going to see the rest of the EVs or not. If we do, then we're definitely getting all the types. But it's been a couple gens now since we've seen a new evolution, so people are starting to wonder if we're not going to get any more at all. Which would be really sad. I really hope that's not the decision they make. Basically, EVs are special. They 100% are. You keep hearing fucking Megalovania? I mean, if you don't want to hear Megalovania, you could always hear Crabrave. Crabrave is a great replacement for Megalovania.
Cygnus.
Cygnus. Oh, there's Cove. We're breaking the law. Breaking the law. You twitched at the sudden call, immediately calming down upon seeing Cove walk up to you. Dragon-type moves were special before Gen 4? Was I wrong? Hang on, I need to stand corrected. I stand corrected. I stand corrected. Now I sit corrected. Now I stand corrected. And now, Game Freak, I have a word. I have a word for you, Game Freak. I've been defending you for this long about there not being a Dragon-type evolution, because I thought that Dragon-types were physical. And I was wrong. Which means, Game Freak, you're wrong. Give us our Dragon Eevee. Give it to us now. Hisui region or bust. Let's go. You know what you have to do. That's not even the worst. I'm in Shoppers and Sweet Home Alabama blasted. Oh my god, Sweet Home Alabama Megalovania mashup is my favorite fucking thing on the planet. I laughed so fucking loud, and older one was like, what's so funny? But all the Zubers were trying so fucking hard to remain professional. Yeah, fucking Megalovania Sweet Home Alabama mashup. Top tier. Give us all the evolutions. Fucking get on it, Nintendo, Game Freak, you know what to do. You twitched at the sudden call, immediately calming down upon seeing Cove walking up to you. It was strange, and yet so completely normal to have him appear like this right now. Megalobama. Yeah, exactly. What are you doing? I saw you standing around the middle of the street from my window. Well, you see, Mara, the first 4 notes of Sweet Home Alabama's guitar riff and the first 4 notes of Megalovania are the exact same notes. Just in a different pattern. Because Megalo is da-da-da-da, and Sweet Home Alabama is da-da-da-da. It's the exact same notes, but just at a different... it's the exact same notes, but in a different pattern. What are you doing? I saw you standing around in the middle of the street from my window. You aren't sleeping either? Why not? With Sweet Home, it's not those notes. Okay. Cove turned his lips up to smile, almost as if he were amused by the question. It's actually the first same 4. Oh, okay. Because... Did you hear a weird noise? Because what? Glad you're here. There's an open string and then a hammer on... Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right. You could tell you hit the nail on the head by the way his eyes widened. Yeah, you knew? I heard it too. That's why you came out, huh? Cove hesitated for a moment, looking down the street before his aquamarine eyes fell on you again. Did it scare you? A little. Me too. I feel better that you're here. Me too. The two of you delicately smiled at that. Cove even chuckled a bit. It was nice that you both felt the same way about things. Aww. I was kind of wondering if it was the wind, but what if it's not? What if it's a person? What if it's something that's not a person? They are pretty fucking adorable, it's true. The unsettling noise suddenly rushed through the air. Cove and you flinched. It sounds even worse than before. You were about to agree with him when the noise came yet again, tearing through the still night. The two of you rapidly looked around, trying to find the source, but to no avail. There was no sign of an answer to this puzzle. You thought that it could be anything, it had to be a ghost, there's gotta be a regular reason for it. Nah, it's a ghost. It's a fucking ghost. An invisible, creepy thing luring children from their beds? It had to be a monster. You were torn between the curiosity of discovering what the noise really was and being scared enough to want to run straight home and hide under the bed covers. When you and Cove locked eyes, it was like speaking without words. Your mutual anxiety hadn't gone away entirely. Hey, can you tell where it's coming from? So, is Cove the son of a Final Fantasy character, and that's where there's the reference there is? I mean, Cove is the son of a surfer dude. He very clearly named his kid after his favorite thing. Also, it's been 2 hours already. Internal clock is saying it's 30 minutes. Shit, it's been 2 hours? We've been chatting a lot, and I haven't been doing a lot of reading. Sorry, Mara.
Not really.
Not really. He has a blonde father, green hair, and blue eyes. We don't know anything about the mom, though. He might take after his mom's appearance, and also, knowing his dad is probably cool enough to dye his hair. And we'll have to look more somewhere else. Maybe we'll see something. Oh, we're gonna get in so much shit for running off. Okay, let's go. Maybe the wife has blue hair. Benny! Yo! Have you been lurking, my friend? Good to see you. I know you've been interested. You know what happens? The colors mix like RGB! I bet she has pronouns, too. True. Very true. Haven't been lurking, went for a very long walk. That is just fine, Benny. Welcome in. I hope the walk was good. Mom is Rydia from Final Fantasy IV with that hair, you bet? Maybe. You clustered together as you walked the familiar streets of your neighborhood, drawing strength from each other's presence. I'm just mad that hair doesn't naturally be blue. I would love to have naturally blue hair. Shadows cut corners and angles where you didn't expect them, distorting the features you saw every day. The noise came again, shrill and hard. It set your teeth on edge the way it ground its way through you. Cove's throat bobbed. His eyes glistened in the dim light. You comforted him, you offered him your hand, you focused ahead, you took a deep breath to calm yourself. Offer the hand. We're going full cute on this, let's go. You really wanted to be there for him and wanted to show that. Your hand was left up for him to take. Cove's mouth opened wordlessly. There was a pause, but ultimately he accepted the offer. His hand was really sweaty, but it didn't bother you. The vomit on his sweater already, palms are sweaty, mom's spaghetti. Rydia is the best Final Fantasy IV character, so I'll accept this. There you go. We're in, boys! Ah, they're still too young. This is just cute kids being cute kids right now. You were too scared to, but being able to comfort Cove... You were scared too, but being able to comfort Cove was the most important thing right now. Cove shut his eyes and pressed his lips together. Your fingers locked around each other even tighter.
So...
Where do you want to check? The park, the beach, the hills behind my house. Let's go to the hills behind the house, because that's not too far away. I feel like... Of the three places, this is the place that will get us the least amount in trouble. It's still a crush. A crush gotta start somewhere, build it up over 10 years, and you gotta pop the question in senior year when you're gonna move out of the city. Hell yeah, Phoenix, it's gonna be cute. Aw, Benny's looking at that games list. Benny's looking at that games list. You and Cove ascended the hill, lit only by the stars in the night sky. Salt, have I played Before Your Eyes? I have not played Before Your Eyes. I've seen a little bit of it played by somebody else, but I've never played it myself. But I only saw a little bit of it. That's the one that, like, uses your camera, right? Like, you blink to make the game go. Oh, you're gonna add it? Yo. Alright, hang on. I'm gonna quickly do that now before I forget. All right, it is there. Last updated November 10th. Anyone can check the game list to see that it is in fact there. I just won't put it up on the screen right now. Yeah, the game list has been so active. I had a feeling it would be a big hit with the audience as well as the streamer. Yeah, Mara, this is great. This has been awesome. Yo, Benny. Hey, yo, how's it going, everybody? Benny, thank you for fucking adding that to the list. I'm very curious about that game because, like, any game that has unique control schemes, I think is really cool. So for those who don't know, Before Your Eyes is a game that actually uses your webcam and it registers your blinks. And it tells the story through blinking. So your list is an incredible way to get people who actually view your streams to request and prioritize games. Love it. That was my thought. So that was my thought. The people who support the channel the most, technically speaking, have the most ability to control what games get played. And I still keep one day a week for myself, so that I can still play any games that I want to do, but it allows me to experience games that I probably would never have experienced otherwise, and it lets me interact with my audience, be like, okay, what do you want to see? What do you want me to see? And that's why I love it. But I do have to say, it is not my original idea. And it's really, really important that I make this very, very clear. I took this amazing idea from the legendary Dexter Chaco. Shout out Dexter Chaco. They're an incredible streamer. Just so fucking good. I didn't invent lists. No, I did not invent lists, but I mean, like, the idea of using channel points to control the list. Yeah, Dex does it. Dex was where I got the idea. So, yeah, no, Map, you're right. I didn't invent lists, but the whole thing is, like, you can spend points to add to the list, but you can also spend points to bump a game up the list so it happens sooner. It gets people active. It gets people interested. You get some spicy competition. Right now, people are fighting back and forth between the Outer Wilds and Final Fantasy IX to be the next game. And it's really, really fun. Wait, Salt didn't invent lists? Dang, I've been operating under incorrect assumptions this whole time. It's true. Back in the day, back in the first form, Salt, in my first form, aeons ago, I created lists. And then I went into a hibernation for millennia and woke up and decided to become a Twitch streamer. Save the game, dang it. Map, actually, you're 100% right. Thank you for that. We're going to actually do that right now. Thank you. Damn, dude. Yeah, that's the deep Salt lore. I've been giving you guys a whole bunch of free Salt facts. It's Twitch streamer? What a career choice. Yeah, if only it paid well. That's a lie. You guys support me incredibly. You guys support me incredibly for how short of a time I've been streaming. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Interesting thing about visual novels like this is that you can save at any time. Yeah, it's so good. It's nice. So Salt said, let there be lists. And there were lists. Alright, let's get back to this. Yo, are you registered as a sole proprietorship yet? Yes. All I will say when it comes to that kind of stuff, because I don't want to talk about that too much on stream, is I'm very, very thankful to have a mom who is an accountant. And when I told her I'm going to start Twitch streaming, and I'm going to start Twitch streaming, and I'm going to start like releasing my own music, my mom was like, "All right, we're going to get you set up with stuff for money and all that bullshit reasons." So I'm very, very fortunate to have an accountant in my life who is very much like, hey, do your shit. Claim it is basically your new catchphrase. You know it. You know it. And that's all we're going to say about that. Wow, I have no idea about that kind of stuff. I mean, it's different in every country, right? It's different in every country. I help people with this sort of stuff, hence your Phoenix moment. Oh, there you go. Your dad's an accountant too. Yay for accountants. I mean, if you're going to live in a capitalist society that you cannot escape from, you might as well learn how to navigate it. That's my logic. I'll never understand how to navigate a capitalist society, Alice says as I say that. I'm not happy about it, but until we can change the system, I might as well learn how to operate within it. Anyway, let's go back to this cute thing. Soul, we share at least one brain cell. It is so true, Alice. We really, truly do. Alice, you're kind of like... Alice, you definitely feel like a younger sibling in, like, the best possible way, which is great. Corpse Mom is back, by the way, so the raid is safe. Hell yeah, when we are done streaming, we will be raiding Corpse Mom. It will be happening, don't you worry. I will willingly rebel against the capitalist society by neither caring or stressing about it too much because it causes me too much anxiety. That is also valid, Benny. I can't morally reconcile with it within myself, then I can't understand how to work within it. Fair enough. Fair enough. That is also valid. You came in and ruined the surprise. I don't care. Is it really a surprise, Corpse Mom? Corpse Mom. Everyone say happy birthday. Everyone say happy birthday, Corpse Mom. Happy birthday, Corpse Mom. Is it a surprise? Is it a surprise? Did you think I was going to go anywhere else tonight, Corpse Mom? I'm coming to say hi to you when this is all done. We're coming to say hi. There's no there's no surprise. This ain't no birthday surprise bullshit. I love you to bits and pieces, Corpse Mom. Happy fucking birthday. You are amazing, and I hope you've been having a wonderful day. Go have some fun. When I'm done reading everybody chill stories, we're all gonna come say hi. Mwah! Love you. Scorpio, best sign. Scorpio is a great sign. You're gonna play Gartic Phone? Ooh, I've never actually played Gartic Phone. I might need to play Gartic Phone. Okay, cool. Good to know. Good to know. Maybe. Hard maybe. I might stay up late for that because I'm a sadist. Let's do it. Alright. For now, cute times with Cove. Let's go. I love you, Corpse Mom. You and Cove ascended the hill, lit only by stars in the night sky. The wind rippled through the grass and ruffled your hair. Without the sun's light to translate what you were seeing, every bush in the distance looked like a creepy figure or a towering monster. I love you too. The noise was just as loud here as it was in your neighborhood, with just as little indication behind the cause. You ran away, you kept going forward, you snuck back to your own neighborhood quietly. Now we're going to keep going forward. You couldn't stop when you had already gone so far. You had to find out what was going on. The top of the hill was an excellent vantage point to survey the town from. Everything appeared normal. There was no out-of-place sight pinpointing the answer to this mystery. Without visible markers to guide the way, you supposed it was up to you and Cove to deduce the source of the sound. The hill had many great hiding places, and you intended to check them all. You upturned rocks, peered up trees, and rummaged through the thick grass for anything that might bring some closure on all of this. You stuck close to Cove as you hunted for the source of the noise. When the shrieking noise shook the air, seeing him beside you calmed your racing heart. Seeking to ease your nerves and put aside thoughts of what might be out on this dark, spooky night, you decided to strike up a conversation. President's Choice, World's Best Scottish Shortbreads are pretty good, but they're not as god tier as Walker's. Yeah, that's fair. We do love a good shortbread cookie, though. The best Christmas cookies in the world, though, are my Oma's Christmas cookies. No, I will not be accepting any other options at this time. You can tell me any other cookie in the world, they do not beat my Oma's cookies, and that is just a hard fact. That's just a hard fact. Sugar cookies or shortbreads? I like both. I just like cookies, man. I counter. Moms. Okay, listen. Pint? And this is not fair because I'm pretty sure that Urban is watching too. I love your mom's cookies and your sweet. Your mom makes some of the best baked goods ever. Really, truly. Really, truly. But Oma's chocolate chip cookie is like the most emotionally centering cookie on the planet. Like, Oma's chocolate chip cookie is the type of thing that, like, I can take a bite of it and any bad day is gone. Like, it's magical. It is no disrespect to any cookies or any baked goods that your mom makes, Pint. There's no disrespect to anything that she makes because it's all fucking amazing. But there is something about Oma's chocolate chip cookie. There just is. Top of the top? Yeah, top of the top. Isn't that great? A Scottish shortbread is that for me? Hell yeah, Phoenix. We love that shit. Your search for a topic was more fruitful than your search for the noise. Your eyes fell on Cove's cast, and you were instantly inspired. Uh-oh, we're gonna ask about the cast. Oh, okay. Have you broken any other bones?
No.
No. Oh. It turned out it wasn't that much of an engaging topic for him after all. Yeah, you don't think? I broke my leg once. My arm was broken before. I've never broken any bone. I sprained my ankle before. These both are true. These both are true. I broke my leg once. I'm going to do that one because that was definitely the worst experience. Cookies are good, but like raw cookie dough is a million times better. Hot take. Raw cookie dough is fucking great. You winced empathetically. That sounds really bad. I'm okay. That put an end to your injury discussion, but Cove's calmer mood alleviated the bleak atmosphere like you hoped it would. Cove cast his eyes out to the darkness, feeling bolder. The one thing I will say is cookie dough is better with ice cream than cookies is with ice cream. Like, cookie dough ice cream is amazing, and like, cookie ice cream sandwiches are great, but cookie dough is better. Cove cast his eyes out to the darkness, feeling bolder. Does this make you feel strange? We were people who heard weird noises out at night, and are looking for what it is. It's like we're at the start of a book or a movie, and we're the main characters. Cygnus, I got news for you, buddy. Cygnus, I got news for you, buddy. You're leaning on that fourth wall that you don't even realize is there, just a little bit. Yeah. It's a horror story, an action story, a fantasy story. It's a documentary. It's a fantasy story. I don't really like ice cream sandwiches. I just can't with the texture changes. That's super valid, Sombra. You hear your cookie dough and ice cream is better and raise you crispy cocoa wafers. Not bad, not bad. Not bad at all, Phoenix. I love Ben & Jerry's, though. Ben & Jerry's is incredible ice cream, and also just, like, one of the rare examples of a company that's, like, kind of morally good. Like Oreos without the white part. See, I love the cream. I like Oreo is my favorite cookie, and I'm like a twist and lick Oreo eater. Ben & Jerry's probably the most base core I've ever seen. Yeah, exactly. The world they found outside looked like their own, but it wasn't. They had stepped into another dimension without even knowing. You don't like the cream part of the Oreo? That's understandable, Phoenix. To each their own. I fucking love it. Oh good, I don't have to disown you. Damn right, Alice. Twist and lick all the way.
Really?
Really? Yep. It's a dimension where everyone has been cursed to sleep until the monster making the noise is defeated. How are we going to defeat the monster? We'll find magical swords that can defeat the dreaded beast with one blow. Okay. Well, whatever the noise was, you were confident that you had established that it was not coming from the hill. Once you were satisfied nothing out of the ordinary was to be found on the hill, you had to consider your next step. You figured you'd check the park too, you figured you'd check the beach too. Alright, we're going to check the park next, because the beach feels really dangerous to be at alone at night. That's awesome, Phoenix. The private playground was as empty as ever. You could just about hear the mysterious sound if you were quiet, but it had simmered down to a whisper. Cove was practically shaking when he realized it had progressed far enough to reach there. He swallowed hard, but faced you with a determined face. My dad says, good detective work starts at home. He watches a lot of crime shows. So maybe it would be good to look closely. Okay. The two of you swept through every corridor of the park. No monkey bar, swing, or tire went unchecked. Huh. He was squatting on the ground, squinting at something in his hand. Intrigued, you checked over his shoulder so you could see too. Cove held it in his open palm. Coiled inside was the length of a sparkly chain, grains of sand embedded in the fine links. Lifting it up, it became apparent how this had come to be here. You'd seen bracelets and necklaces enough to recognize that the clasp which it held together had snapped. It's broken. It's silver. Werewolves hate silver. Other things too, I think. If this noise is caused by a monster, we can protect ourselves with it. Hell yeah. Yeah. Be right back. Gotta prowl around the house like a burglar. Yeah, you break into your own house, Alice. He flicked the chain as if cracking a tiny whip. I wonder if there's anything else we could use out here. Cove considered this, frowning. I should have grabbed some garlic before I left. Be gay, do crimes. Good luck, Alice. Hell yeah. His frown evolved into a scowl. It probably wouldn't have worked. Dad doesn't have real garlic. He gets fake garlic? It's like little flakes in a jar. Not real balls you have to cut up like Mom uses. Uh-oh, we're getting on the mom topic. Well, we won't need it anyway. It won't be a vampire. They're not this loud.
You're right.
You're right. You'd exhausted all the possible places to search in the park. Straightening up, you mused over your next step. It's gone. What? You realized it. The noise, which had grown fainter and less frequent during your search, had died off completely. You and Cove shared puzzled looks, but neither of you had an answer for what had caused the mystery sound or made it go away. A yawn crept up on you. All the excitement made you forget how late it was. Let's go home. We're not going to find anything now. The night was still as you walked home. With none of the usual background noises or the eerie whistle from before, you could hear every step you and Cove made like a cough in a movie theater. The two of you came to a halt outside your front door. Never before had it looked so ominous. Now to sneak back inside. Do you sneak out a lot? This is the first time. It'd be weird to say you were telling the truth about it because you literally, you've never done this before at the beginning of this story, so I think the right answer is this is the first time. Yeah, I'd never tried to do it till now. Thought so. How did you know? I hadn't seen you out my window this late before. That was fair, though it could have been possible you were just so good at sneaking that this was the first time he had caught you. Are you worried about getting caught?
No.
No. He was so forthright you believed him completely. But your dad, won't he get mad or sad if he catches you? He's never happy with what I do. Oh. Cal, hello! How are you? You sympathized. That must be hard. Yeah, he and Mom do what they want. Why shouldn't I? Alright, I'm going in.
Bye.
Okay, good night. Good night, Cove. Thanks for coming with me tonight. I'm not sure I could have done it by myself. I wanted to go with you. You beamed at him. You turned the doorknob as slowly as a clock's minute hand, holding your breath for the telltale click of the lock, and nudged it open. When all that happened was the door opening, rather than the blaring alarms that you'd have feared, you melted with relief. Back inside your house, you were surprised to find your mom still watching TV. Weirder still, it looked like they were on the same show as they were watching before you left, yet you were positive you'd been out investigating for hours. Perhaps you could use their distraction to your advantage. If you could just get up the stairs, you'd be safe from suspicion. But how could you get there? Tired and anxious, got a presentation due on Friday. Oh no, Cal, you've got this. And a paper due on the 21st, plus a presentation on that due the 15th. Oof. I believe in you, Cal. You can do this. And how would you get there? Tried to sneak past. Tried to walk in your own house nonchalantly. You couldn't. You had to give up and come clean. We're gonna try and sneak past. Who are we kidding? You hugged the wall as you creeped delicately around the perimeter of the room. It was a valiant effort that any spy would have been proud of, right up until the moment where you tripped over a power cord and nearly fell over. Plus, you're booking flights to London, you're stressed about that. That's very fair, Cal. Cygnus? You might not have fallen, but your accident ruined your cover. You'd been spotted. They abandoned the couch and their show to hurry over. They were still in a state of surprise. You weren't in trouble yet.
Are you okay?
What are you doing down here, sweetie? Did you have a bad dream? I'm gonna get in trouble, but I'm gonna tell the truth. I went out to find what was causing a noise. Time seemed to drag. What, do we have two mommies? Hell yeah, we do, Map. Hell yeah, we've got mom and we've got mommy. Time seemed to drag as the color drained from your mom's faces. Double mommies, hell yeah.
Huh?
Out where? Out of your bedroom? That's what you mean, right? You pointed to the front door, confirming their worst fears. Mommy remained frozen in shock, while Mom launched into lecturing mode. Yeah, we're gonna get in shit. Cygnus Downey, it is not safe for you to be out this time of night by yourself. If something was wrong, you should have come to us. I thought you knew better than that. I trusted you to know better than that. Anything could have happened to you. If we don't know where you are, it's a lot harder to keep you safe. It's 9th week and I'm leaving for the next 2 terms and my friend is going to graduate and I'm probably never going to see him again. Can't you keep in contact? Hopefully you can keep in contact, Cal. Her voice was soft, yet it still cut deep. You pawed at the ground with your feet. What they were saying made sense. It was scary. I don't like being scared. I just wanted to see what was there.
Sweetie.
Honey. Mommy wrapped her arms around you, cradling the back of your head. You clung to her. You're brave for facing your fears, but you need to be smart too. It was scary because it might have been possibly something dangerous, right? That kind of worry is something you should tell us about. Okay. Mom shook her head with a sigh. Let's get you back in bed where you belong. Right. We'll have a talk about this in the morning. 2 other people on the trip leaving from the same airport as me already made plans without me. Because I didn't respond to the email for a while, so it's my fault, but still. I mean, once you're there, though, like, a flight, honestly, a flight that long, you're going to want to sleep on anyway. That is the type of thing where you're going to want to put some headphones in and just try to get some sleep. You pulled a face at that, but you didn't protest. All things considered, they could have been much harder on you. Once your moms had left, you turned over the night's adventure in your mind. It was still hard to believe that you'd really done it. Sure, you're going to get a talking to tomorrow, but it had been a night you'd never forget, for better or for worse. You hoped that Cove had gotten home okay. Though he hadn't been worried, being told off is never fun. Wriggling down deeper underneath the sheets, your thoughts turned to the unsolved mystery. You and Cove had only just begun to scratch the surface of it. Maybe you'd solve it and maybe you wouldn't, but what mattered was that you'd shared the experience with each other. You were so energized by the night's excitement that you tossed and turned in bed for some time, thinking up theories to share with Cove when you next saw him. Sleep eventually claimed you, but the adventure merely resumed in your dreams. It's a big change, Cal. It's valid for that to be stressful. In the morning, the lecture continued, but ultimately your mums let you off with a warning. It had been pretty unusual circumstances, after all. You later learned Cove didn't end up in trouble for the nightly escapade either. It was unclear whether that was because his dad chose not to punish him, or if Cove got away with it. As for the sounds that started this all, the adults around were convinced it was nothing more than the wind. For your imaginative mind, that wasn't nearly enough. How could they accept something so simple so easily? Maybe it would make more sense when you were grown up too. Alright. We're gonna save. Let's see here. I'm going to use this opportunity to go take a break, because I am out of water, and reading all this is very, 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 parching. So, yeah, I'll be back in about 5 minutes. And, when I come back, we're going to keep this going for a little bit longer. So, don't go anywhere. Yeah, it'll be about 5 minutes or so. They were this close to making it, into the championships, into the qualifiers. They missed it by like one other team winning a game. So maybe next year. The team's doing really good. Go Jays, go. It is off season, but we fucking love the Jays. Good for them. I'm not even a big sports guy, but I do love the Blue Jays. Love you, dude. Love you too, Lemon Stan. Thank you so much for the love. I love you too. Let's get back into our life. I had no way to mute the music, so I just turned the game off. So I'm just gonna turn the game back on. There we go. Almost had a good run, the story of Toronto sports teams. Isn't that the fucking truth, though? That is absolutely the full truth. What feels did I want for the next episode? What are my choices? The only sports team in the world I can name is the Red Sox. That is correct. That is a sports team. So you are right. Congratulations. Great success. I think I want something that is like less dramatic vibe.
Winner, Gagnon.
Hell yeah. Thanks for streaming again, my man. I'm gonna be in and out of chat. However, we need to at some point play some Smash. Lemon, you got it. Absolutely. Lemon, if you want to play Smash, that is definitely something that we can sort out. That would be really fun. I will bring my best piranha plant, and y'all can take me to school. I've been tossing around. We're not playing Smash right now. We're not playing Smash right now, Rin, but it is something that we can definitely do at some point. I have been tossing around the hilarious idea of taking an idea from Riggy, because all the best ideas are stolen by other amazing smart people. That's just a fact. But Riggy did an all-King DDD tournament. And I think that I would love to do an all-Piranha Plant tournament, because I think that shit would be fucking hilarious. Just saying, I'll be here lurking in the shadows. Hell yeah, Rin. Bring your best Samus. Samus is fucking scary for Plant. Piranha Plant is scary as fuck. Okay, like Runaway will probably make you want to cry. Alright, so we're going to save that for the start of next stream, so that we can have some good feels after. Let's do barbecue. Yeah. Yeah, let's do barbecue and sleepover. We'll see if we get to sleepover. With the way we've been chatting, it might not happen. You've been brought along to the big park today, which did an excellent job of living up to its title. The park near your house, the park near your house, with its lonely playground equipment, wasn't even a quarter of the size of the expanse of grass and trees that lay before you now. As it was in the next town over, and too far for you to walk by yourself, you didn't get to visit it much, so you soaked up the environment. Another difference between this park and the one in your neighborhood was that this one had visitors other than you, Lizzie, Shiloh, and Cove. Today was the busiest you'd ever seen it, thanks to a community get-together luring people in from all over the local area with the promise of barbecue and fireworks. Your family and Coves were just two of many. What seemed like dozens of cars were parked up already when you had arrived. You saw Cove hesitate as he took in the growing gaggle of strangers. By your mommy, Lizzie bounced on the balls of her feet, barely containing her excitement. The crowd made you nervous, couldn't wait for the fireworks, looked forward to meeting more kids, you'd rather have stayed home, your tummy was already rumbling for the food to come. Even if it was bigger, this park wasn't as special as the one back home. Let's be fucking real, I'm here for the food. It was going to be so good. Mommy had told you that the people running the community event weren't charging for it, but she wanted to get them something in return. Which is why you'd not been allowed to touch the beautifully iced cupcakes she had carried on her lap during the drive over. It was a special treat for them. Every time the car made a turn, she clutched the box tight enough for her knuckles to strain, much to everyone's amusement. Mr. Holden's contribution to the party, a huge pack of juice boxes, was tucked under his arm after being retrieved from the car's trunk. You bet there had been no such dramatics around that cargo getting here in one piece, but the boxes did lack the beautiful shimmer of Mommy's treasured cupcakes.
Okie dokie.
Everyone all set? Should be. Cove, did you put on sunscreen before we left? Yeah, I always do. You don't have to tell me. Mr. Holden deflated, his attempt at caring for his son rebuffed, but he triumphed with a smile.
Good kid.
Good kid. Don't want you getting burned, or dehydrated either. It'll be a busy day.
Well,
I don't think there's going to be any risk of that second part. Mom nodded at the tables up ahead, laden with all kinds of food and drink. She was right. There was plenty to go around. The parents headed over, with you, Lizzie, and Cove trailing after them. A bunch of grown-ups were clustered around there chatting, but you were more intrigued by what was on the tables. Some of it was familiar: chilled meat, sliced vegetables, big bags of chips, but there was a lot you didn't recognize. Your moms had said that you weren't to touch the food until they said it was time to eat. You didn't see the harm in taking just a little. You wanted to listen to their rules. You didn't want to risk getting caught. There's the answer. It'd be bad if you got in trouble before the event had even started. You saw that Mommy and Mr. Holden had deposited the food and drink they'd brought. Mommy gave the cupcakes one final worried look before turning to you with a smile. Since that's the topic at hand, how about we freshen up with something to drink? Yeah! That'd be great. Along with the ones out, there was a giant ice cooler on the ground stuffed with cans full of soda, cans of soda, boxes of juice and milk, as well as bottles of water. Your drink was soda. This park has barely any trees. Yeah, it's definitely like a park for people to like do sports in and shit rather than trees. The bubbles in the soda tickled your nose as you gulped it down. Your little group took a break while everyone quenched their thirst. Mr. Holden smacked his lips, pantomiming enjoyment. That hit the spot, but you kids should go have fun. You can take your stuff with you and join the other kids playing games. Yeah, this is like the picnic area too. You wouldn't want the trees near the barbecues, that's for sure. Just don't go too far from the tables. And we'll be keeping an eye out, so don't even think about sneaking off. We're not going to the other parts of the park today. Lizzie huffed at their comments. They did sound directed at her. She scanned the surroundings. Nodding her head towards a group of kids like a general directing their battalion, she pointed the way.
come on!
Come on, let's go over there. Cove's mouth was downturned as he looked from the parents and the other adults to the new kids. Clearly not favoring either option. I live near a forest and yep, barbecues and trees are bad. Yeah, absolutely. But ultimately, he hunched his shoulders and tagged along after Lizzie. You went to play with the other kids too? Yep. You followed after Lizzie and Cove, who were waiting for you on the outskirts of the group of parents. Maybe it's just because the big clearing in our park is super marshy. Ah, that's fair. Hurry up! You picked up the pace, moving into a jog, but when Lizzie pelted away at full speed, you and Cove had no choice but to break out into a run. There were several fires a couple years ago from the picnic areas because the grass was so dry. Yeah, we had a huge fire on the west coast of the country. We're not near it, but like there was a huge wildfire for days because of that shit. The other kids were far out in the field. Still, at your speed, it wasn't long until you reached them. As you approached, they turned around to greet the newcomers.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Lizzie. That's my little brother Cygnus. The one with the cast is Cove. Hi. Cove simply lifted a hand in greeting. There was a chorus of hellos and names from the other kids. One of the kids looked to be about Lizzie's age, or older. A couple seemed to be about the same age as you and Cove, and there was one tiny little thing with his arms folded over his chest. What are you up to? The first kid, a boy with curly black hair and neon green sneakers who introduced himself as Hayden, shrugged and looked to the others. Wow, we've got a boomer in the park. It's true. Not much. The second kid to pipe up, Lisa, had half her face obscured behind the huge glasses that she wore. We haven't decided yet. She glanced wistfully over her shoulder. Following her gaze, you saw a spray of water first, and then heard the shriek of someone as someone got splashed in the face, before you spotted the person shooting them. Some people are playing with water guns, but there aren't any left. The smallest kid, Noah, grumbled at that. You guessed that was why he was sulking. Spencer, who hadn't said much, patted his shoulder. So that's out. A new kid raced over with a glint in her eyes and her braids streaming behind her. You spotted the plastic orange pistol in her hand too late when the trigger had already been pressed. Ah! Rude! Hey! Lizzie, who had been caught first, was fuming. Cove wiped the water from his face. You rubbed at your ear, trying to dislodge the water that had pooled there. No spray people. You pushed her away. Ooh. You were with Lizzie. It was mean to spray people who weren't playing too. The girl simply darted off to find more victims, unaffected by your reaction. She doesn't mean anything by it. Lizzie tutted, flicking her hair out of her face. The girl not meaning anything by it didn't change the fact that she had been sprayed. Cove looked similarly unimpressed. Lisa's face lit up as she had an idea. Hey, we should catch her. She won't be able to spray people if she's running away from everybody. Yeah! Cove nodded as the other kids murmured their interest, or lack of it, in the game. Yeah, let's do it. You joined the group of kids in tearing off after the girl with the pistol. Spotting you over her shoulder, she laughed as she shot her pistol in the air, only a couple of drops squeezed out. She swerved, causing discord within your team as someone stood on your foot and you collided with Cove's shoulder. Sorry. Cove shot you a smile that gave you a feeling of camaraderie. It's okay. You were closing in on the girl, but you weren't alone. Lizzie's face was set with intent. The two older kids were hot on her heels too. You outran them easily, outran them with effort. You weren't as fast as them because they were speedy. You weren't as fast as them because you just weren't fast. You pushed yourself, willing your legs to move just that bit faster. You were close, but just not close enough. Lisa lunged and tackled her friend to the ground. Got her! Panting, she punched the air in triumph, then pushed her glasses back up the bridge of her nose. The girl who had been caught giggled as she got to her feet, brushing the strands of grass from her knees. Smiling, Cove came to a stop at your side. Lizzie whooped with delight, clapping her hands. The boy with the bright sneakers grinned. You're it now. Catch us if you can. Yeah, I'll do it. You won't get away from me. With that, you all dispersed, squealing and laughing as you tried to evade your capture. The sour mood from earlier had evaporated entirely, replaced with a light and playful atmosphere. Several rounds later, rip the parents that have to deal with these grass stains. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you let your kids run around the park. There's gonna be grass stains. That's just how she goes, bud. Several rounds later, when most of the kids had taken at least one turn as it, the scent of smoke wafted up to your nose. Caught by surprise, you look up and found that the brilliant blue sky had turned orange as the sun sunk down on the horizon. With all the excitement, you'd lost track of time completely. Looking over, you saw people standing over the grills and poking them to life. It was nearly time to eat. Yeah, this is that sky we're talking about. Grass stains have got nothing on tomato sauce stains. That's probably true. We should get over there. I'm so hungry. Yeah, that sky is nice. Our parents are at different spots. Yeah. Bye. It was cool playing.
Yep.
Yep, bye. Bye. You wave goodbye to the other group of kids before hurrying off to your parents with Lizzie and Cove. A tickle unfurled in your throat, growing more persistent as you came closer to the source of the smoke. As the three of you approached the tables, your parents spotted you and came to join you halfway. You tried to greet them, but another cough obstructed your words. Oof, that's quite a cough. You alright, sweetie? You nodded confidently. I'm fine. No, you shook your head. Are you sure? No one needs to go up to the grills if they don't want to. Just let me know what you need. There was no response from the other two kids here. I can get it myself, Mommy. I can do it. You marched over to the grills. Can you get it for me? Could you please get it for me? You hung your head, moving no closer to the smoking grills. I can do it. Alright, but tell me if it gets too much for you.
So,
Main thing being served is kebabs. You can have whatever you'd like on it. There's different types of meats and veggies. As you approached, you found a vast array of bits and pieces ready to be skewered and served up. You chose chicken, beef, shrimp, pork, onions, peppers, zucchinis, potatoes, beef. Seeing them appear on screen is a shock every time. Potatoes, zucchini, peppers, shrimp, chicken, pork, onions, and that's everything. Who am I kidding? We're putting everything on that fucking skewer. Who am I joking? Who am I joking? Would you like the kitchen sink too? Yes, Mom. Yes, I would.
Josh.
Josh, it's great you like so many foods. The veggies will make you extra healthy and strong. Potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a kebab. Listen, I love there's so few foods that I don't like. Order given, you waited for your food to be ready. Lizzie headed towards you, having issued her own request. Hi again. I heard what you ordered. I'm getting a chicken kebab with all 3 colors of peppers. Noticing that Cove approached, she turned to him. You want skewer now? Hell yeah. Boil them, mash them, stick them on a skewer. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
why?
Why does it matter? I don't know, I was just asking. I'm getting beef and shrimp with all the vegetables, except onions. Lizzie hummed while evaluating his response. That's okay, I guess, but chicken is definitely the better one. Then you can eat all the chicken. I'm going to. All the chicken in the world?
No.
No, that's dumb. You know what I mean. Lizzie peered over to the grills where the kebabs were being held out. Kebabs were being handed out. A growing assortment of kebabs collected in your parents' hands. They're coming over. Don't get jealous of mine when you realize you made the wrong choice, Cove. I didn't make the wrong choice. There isn't a wrong choice. We all made good choices. Same to you, Lizzie. You sighed. It's just what kebab somebody eats. The person serving gave your mummy one final kebab, then your parents moved over to rejoin you. Between them, they were carrying 6 kebabs, one for each of you, including Cove and Mr. Holden. We got the goods! Cove's daddy is looking for a place where we can sit. In the meantime, they began passing out the kebabs to the rightful owners. Lizzie smiled smugly as she received hers. These are pretty big, be careful not to drop it, and try not to poke yourself with the ends either. They're sharper than you might think. Hearing that, you tentatively pushed the tip of the skewer against your finger. It felt like the point of a newly sharpened pencil. Though it didn't hurt your hand, you wouldn't want it scraping the roof of your mouth or jabbing your tongue. Mommy clucked her tongue. It would have been nice if the options were a little easier to manage and less messy to eat, especially for smaller kids. There aren't even plates for everyone, so we could set the food down for a second.
True.
That's what you get for the price of free, but we can hack it, right? Lizzie nodded her head vigorously, clutching her kebab like a trophy. That seems kinda dangerously sharp, not gonna lie. Yeah, fair. Your parents led you back to the tables. It was immediately evident why Mr. Holden had been sent to scout one out. The benches had quickly filled up as people got their food. Mr. Holden was standing over a corner section near the edges of the sitting area. He beckoned your group over to join him. You clambered onto the bench, taking care not to let your kebab slip from your fingers. Cove took a seat next to you. Lizzie took the other side. Your mom passed the final unclaimed kebab to Mr. Holden. Why not just clip off the end when you finish skewering? Then you'd get splinters.
Thank you.
Thanks, this looks delicious. Thank you for getting us a space out here. Everyone tucked into their food. You gobbled it up eagerly, only partially obstructed by the awkwardness of eating it from a skewer. Running around with the other kids had helped you work up an appetite. Mr. Holden, what do you do? Well, I do a lot of things. Do you play golf? Only if you count mini golf. They might be metal, and then they're not that easy to cut even when they're wood. Yeah, but like you can cut them when they're wood, but you're gonna get splinters for sure. Because these ones would be like disposable ones. One look at Lizzie's stricken face confirmed that she did not. She could enjoy the occasional round at a mini golf place, especially if she had an audience to impress, but your sister took her passion very seriously. Even then, it's been years since I gave it a shot. Cove groaned at the feeble pun. Mom chuckled. You weren't sure if she was responding to the joke, Cove's annoyance, or Lizzie's offense.
Don't worry about it.
Just as well, she'd be dragging you to the green every week. That's because I've got dedication. You need a good driver too to get far. Mr. Holden nodded, clicking his tongue in appreciation. Both looked from his father to your sister, lost in the conversation. Outclassed in golf and wit. I don't get it. A drive is a type of golf shot. You should give real golf a try. Maybe I'll even teach you some tricks. Don't try to change my dad to be more like you. Lizzie gave Cove a dirty look at the accusation. Mommy felt the need to move the topic ahead before it got more heated. Yeah.
How nice.
That's really sweet of you, but I'm sure Mr. Holden is busy. He might not have time for another hobby. Yeah, I don't think I'm made for that. Still, the offer is appreciated.
Why?
Then tell me something you really do already. You just go away every day. I like scuba diving, though with the business, that's more work than play these days. Surfing, reading, snorkeling. I knew it! Fucking Cove runs a fucking dive shop. That makes perfect sense. Those are things Cove likes. Mr. Holden exaggeratedly puffed out his chest. What can I say? My boy's got good taste. He takes after his dad in that way. The sun had been setting when you got your food, and by the time you'd finished, the night had truly fallen. Your sticky fingers were the only remaining evidence of your meal. The kebab had been a great combination, more than the sum of its parts. The seasoning of freedom to choose every ingredient yourself was what made it something to remember. Rising from the table, Mommy held up her water bottle. Okay, now that the food is gone, you've got to wash your hands.
Okay.
Cygnus, Lizzie, please hold them out. Lizzie complied, coming over and cupping her hands together in front of her. Mommy splashed some water over her fingers, and Lizzie rubbed them together, working off any residue. Here. Mom passed a paper towel from her purse, and Lizzie used it to dry off her hands. Your turn, Cygnus. You readily held out your hands to cast water. Yep. Let's just do it. Copying Lizzie, you washed your hands, taking care to clean every crevice between your fingers before wiping them dry. Nearby, Cove had taken his own course of action, wiping his hands on his pants and leaving a stain where his fingers had been. Mr. Holden shook his head.
Come on.
Let's clean that off, pal. He scrubbed at the fabric with a scrunched up napkin. Yeah, it's not that bad. When everyone was cleaned up, or as clean as they could be with the limited facilities, Mom spoke up.
Let's go.
Let's go make one last check at the coolers and restock on drinks before the fireworks show. No time, we have to get a good spot. Everywhere's gonna be taken. How about I go ahead and save space again? You can meet up with me in the field after getting the drinks. Then I'm going with Cove's dad. I'll find the perfect place.
Okay.
Sure thing, I could use an extra pair of eyes. Mommy shook her head ruefully at Lizzie's even more enthusiastic than usual attitude.
That's fine.
Alright, me, Cliff, and Lizzie can go find a place to sit. Pam, Cove, and Cygnus, do you want to get the drinks? Mom's name is Pam! Okay. We nodded. As Mommy, Lizzie, and Mr. Holden headed off to the wide open field where the fireworks were being set up, you joined Cove and Mom in returning to the cooler where you had picked up drinks earlier. Even as you approached, you suspected you wouldn't find much in it. Where it had been originally stocked to the brim, it was now half empty. The ice, which had cushioned the drinks and kept them cool, was largely melted, with only a handful of pieces floating like tiny icebergs. Slim pickings. The drinks that remained looked like bottles of plain water, but you caught a glimpse of something more colorful amongst them. You rummaged around the cooler, excavating a couple of juice boxes from the bottom in the process.
Aha.
Aha! Cygnus, Cove, you can take one of those if you want. The perks of helping. Cove hesitated, but decided to take a juice box for himself. When you were each loaded up with your chosen drink, plus an extra bottle or two for somebody else in the group, Mom's phone started to ring. She juggled the water bottles over into the crook of her arm and looked at the caller. It's Mummy. Hold tight while I get this.
How are you?
Hey, hun, how's it going? Did you find our perfect spot already? She nodded along to the call, punctuated by ahas as Mummy gave her directions. Catching her eye, she gestured towards the grassy area. We've got a place. Come on, we'd better hurry before the show starts. You and Cove jogged after your mum, who led you through the field and the separate groups of people assembled there, back to the rest of your families.
Hello.
Hello, we're here. We come bearing drinks, though there wasn't much left. The three of you handed over the spare drinks. You gave Lizzie a bottle of water, but she had only eyes for your juice box. Cygnus and Cove have juice. They helped get the drinks. You got to pick where we sat. Don't be selfish.
No.
I'm not. Good. Then you're going to thank us for bringing you your very own water bottle. Thanks. Yeah, Lizzie. Jesus, you don't get everything. Once everyone had been equipped with a drink for the big event, you sat on the grass beside Cove and waited for the magic to begin. Most people in the park had taken a seat now, with a few stragglers silhouetted back at the tables in the distance. A few rambunctious kids were still dashing about, but their number was steadily decreasing as parents called them over and restored order. Someone bearing a cardboard box weaved between the groups, pausing every so often. You nudged Cove and pointed. What are they doing? Looks like they're handing something out. I can't make out what it is.
What a pickle.
I hope it's not drinks. Mommy chuckled, but Lizzie and Cove were now watching the bestower of mystery goods keenly. Wow. My brain is starting to melt. Are they going to come to us too? Mom softly put her hands on top of your sister's shoulders as if she feared Lizzie might bolt over to the stranger. Lizzie didn't even glance at her, eyes locked on the potential prize. I don't know.
In that case,
We'll have to wait and see. You were intrigued. Studying the man with the box closely as he gradually meandered nearer, you could make out what he was handing out. You could make out that he was handing out small items to most of the groups he stopped at. It seemed too short to be water bottles, but beyond that, it remained a mystery. Then the box man made his way to your group. Evening, I'm handing out dessert. Any takers? There's dessert? Lizzie squealed, hopping up off the ground. The man chuckled. Yo. I'm gonna take that as a yes. Ice cream's on the menu, vanilla flavored with a twist of either chocolate or strawberry syrup.
Nice.
Nice. None for me though, thanks. Same, but the offer's appreciated. I want chocolate. Can I have strawberry? And a strawberry for me too, please. Now you're gonna have to make a decision. Chocolate or strawberry? You were lactose intolerant. Chocolate. Reaching into the box, the man brought out the requested ice creams and tossed them out. It came packaged in a little plastic cup, complete with a little wooden spoon stuck to the paper lid. The condensation wet your fingers in a pleasant way.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kids, are you going to thank the nice man too? There was a chorus of thanks. He cordially nodded and walked off to another group. The man couldn't spend much time with each group, considering how many he had to get to. Lactose intolerant does not equal not eating ice cream. Yeah, all the people who are like, it's ice cream. I will suffer later. Man after my own heart, chocolate. Yeah, between chocolate and strawberry, I'm gonna pick chocolate. Absolutely. I mean, if you're lactose intolerant, your moms carry pills in their purses to make your tummy feel better. Hell yes. That's awesome. You peeled back the tab that covered the ice cream and got right into your unexpected treat. It tasted amazing. Lizzie was definitely enjoying hers. Cove was too. You couldn't help thinking about how Cove had strawberry while you had chocolate. Can I try yours? Do you want a bite of mine? But you didn't mention that out loud. You've gone through most of the possible conversation trees in this game. Hell yeah, Mara. I'm gonna offer a bite of mine. 297 hours in this game, Mara? Holy shit. Wow. He looked around awkwardly, but nodded nonetheless. You caught a bit of ice cream, making sure to hit the chocolate swirl that distinguished it from Cove's, and held it out for him. He nibbled at it. You want some of mine? Yes. He scooped out a chunk of ice cream with his wooden spoon before holding it out to you. You took it gladly. And it was gone in one bite.
Oh.
Aww. Mommy was gazing at the two of you. Her mouth was in an open smile, as if she was about to say something else, but Mom tugged on her collar. That's not a stamp of approval, I don't know what is. Yeah. Look, okay, the world is hard and I need happy feels. That is super valid, Mara. Also, I think one of our moms finally clued in that the two of us are probably tiny baby gay kids, and that's adorable. That is 100%. That was the gay awe of, oh look, they are baby gays, and that is really cute. Don't embarrass them. Hey, if you're sharing, I'll take some. You don't need it. You both have the same flavor.
So?
So what? Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're the best. She enthusiastically took a bite of your ice cream before then offering you a bite in exchange. In the end, that kind of made it pointless. You just ate the same chocolate ice cream out of different cups. Your mummy did like to say it was the thought that counted though. Ignoring that conundrum, Lizzie turned her attention back to her own cup of ice cream. Lizzie munched away happily, but it ultimately didn't succeed in monopolizing her attention. Eyes wide, she looked at her mummy and pulled on her pants.
Please?
I didn't get strawberry. Can I have some of yours, please?
Of course.
Of course, sweetie. Lizzie cooed with excitement as Mommy presented her with a dollop of the ice cream and syrup mixture. Licking her lips, Lizzie lapped it up. Mommy, come on now. Lizzie has all the ice cream she needs. She simply laughed and pinched Lizzie's cheek and then dug her spoon in again and held it out to you. I just can't resist. Cygnus, would you like some of mine? He's got a whole cup of ice cream to eat already and had a bite of Cove's and Lizzie's. I think that's plenty. But that's not the same as getting a little extra from your mummy. And here you see just I love this fucking dynamic of like Mummy just being like, no, I'm the spoiler. Oh look, I'm Mom. Lemon poppy seed, that sounds delicious, Cal. Mom is the responsible parent. Mummy is the quote-unquote cool parent. Quote-unquote. Hell yeah, I'm gonna take more ice cream. You ate the treat being offered, much to Mum's chagrin and Mummy's delight. Cove watched the exchange silently with a blank expression. Mom, on the other hand, shook her head, a fond smile on her face. Move, I'm Mom and gay. Well, you'd better at least give me some, too. Could have gotten your own if you wanted ice cream.
What?
Had it once freshman year and never saw it again until now. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad you were able to get some. Now Mum's pissed. Mummy's gonna be sleeping on the couch tonight. What? The kids have ice cream already and they're getting some of yours to boot and I have nothing. Now is when you decide to be firm? Laughing, Mummy fed some ice cream to your sulking mum. She could never actually follow through with being tough.
There.
There. All better now? Yes. This is so fucking cute. Holy shit. Good. How about you, Cliff? Would you like some? I love the dynamic between your moms. It's so adorable. No, I'm still okay. But thanks for keeping me in mind. Cove's dad is like, do not get me in this. Cove, it's only fair that you get the choice too. Cove shook his head firmly, concentrating on his own cup. Mummy smiled. Okay, as long as no one's feeling left out. Yuck, Mom flirting. They're not my moms, so it's fine. Mummy was so nice to everyone, always. Then, the first firework cut through the sky, whistling as it ascended until it hit its crescendo with an explosion. The park flashed as if alight. Not a bad little piece of art either. Squealing, Lizzie leapt to her feet, her forgotten ice cream tumbling to the ground as the firework crackled into tiny drops of glitter in the sky. It's starting! Everyone else looked up into the sky as another firework whizzed through the air. With each explosion, Lizzie would jump into the air. The event was thrilling. It was impossible to tear your eyes from the scene, hurt your ears. Pardon me, sorry. It was kind of neat. You shrunk back, hugging your knees to your chest. Oof. Thrilling! Cove sat by his dad, captivated by the sky sparkles and flashes overhead. Mr. Holden watched the fireworks scene impassively. He did smile at you and even gave a thumbs up when he noticed you looking over. Mommy hopped to her feet, pulling Mum with her, pushing her into joining Lizzie and jumping up in tandem with every crack of a firework. Then Mummy bent down to offer you a hand up too. You got up to join your family, beckoning Cove to join. Yeah, Cove, come hang out with us. Cove got to his feet, tailing after you as you stood with your family. Your mum's face is lit up, literally and metaphorically, as you approached. The five of you shrieked and leapt along with the sparkles in the sky, not trying to contain your joy at experiencing the sights together. As the fireworks continued, some twisting like the coil of a spring as they arched into the air, others shooting straight from the ground and shattering into a million tiny specks. Every color got its own spotlight in the show, from fiery reds to eerie greens and blues that could rival the ocean. The show built up to a grand finale that boomed over the park and filled every inch of the sky, the twinkling lights representing the full spectrum of the rainbow. The exhilaration that had fueled you while the fireworks were going off was sapped dry now that the show had finished. You collapsed into a giggling heap on the ground, suddenly aware of how your legs ached from your exertion. Cove tumbled down with you, his expression gleeful. Mr. Holden watched his son with an expression much happier than the one he had worn while watching the show. Lizzie gave a final whoop of delight and shared a high five with Mum as Mommy shouted for an encore into the night. You didn't know what it meant, but you liked the way it made Mom laugh. Though the sun had gone down long ago, the air on your bare arms was warm. You took in your giddy family, their spirits buoyed by the firework display. Then your new friend and his father, who looked happy in their own quieter way, and smiled. This had been a pretty special night, Nice. Nice. Alright. I think we have time for one more. And then we will start next week with a sad one and move on to the next step. So let's do sleepover, because I feel like this is going to be adorable.
Okay.
Alright, kids, we're done with dinner. Come to the table. Your stomach grumbled right on time, as if it had heard your mom's words. You halted your game and looked over. You're gonna go to bed now? Alright, Cal, you have yourself a wonderful night. Thank you for stopping in. Good night, have fun with the cute. Thank you so much, Cal. I hope you have a wonderful sleep. Mom was almost done setting the table. She was walking around the mahogany wood in the process of putting down cutlery. Mommy was still in the kitchen, humming under her breath as she turned off the stove and put empty pots in the sink to wash. From beside you, Lizzie stirred, uncrossing her legs and standing up. She stretched her arms above her head. Finally, I'm ready to eat. Then she cast a sly glance in your direction. You recognize that look. Last one to the table is a rotten egg. I haven't... But it was too late. Lizzie had already bolted towards the kitchen. You tried to catch up to her? You couldn't let her win without a fight. You planted a hand against the ground and stood up, then you ran after her. Though there wasn't really time to close the gap. It was a short distance to the table. Lizzie managed to get there easily enough, slapping a hand over the wood. Mom moved just before Lizzie could bump into her. With an exasperated sigh, she resumed her work. I win again! Because you cheated. I didn't cheat. You ran before me. Yeah, because that's how racing works. The one who starts first wins first. That isn't true. Sounds like something a rotten egg would say. Lizzie grinned, hands on her hips, and then looked over your shoulder. Cove, you can be the tiebreaker. Was that a real race that I totally won? You blinked. You hadn't noticed what he'd been doing during this little event, which wasn't much. You spotted Cove still on the floor. His legs were crossed beneath him, the arm with the cast resting in his lap. He looked at the two of you with a slight frown. It felt sort of strange to see him here still so late. Tonight, Cove had come to your house for a sleepover. Your mom's and his dad had planned it a few nights ago. You were surprised. You weren't surprised. You were the one who had asked your moms about it. You were excited when your moms told you their idea. There was so much to do, and it made you quite nervous. Nah, I definitely would have asked. They had told you they would ask Mr. Holden. You looked forward to it since the moment you found out he agreed. You even helped Mom search the storage room for a sleeping bag and extra bedding to prepare for his visit. Cove pursed his lips at Lizzie's question, but he didn't respond. Maybe he was planning on ignoring her. Not that Lizzie would make it easy. This wasn't the first time he had asked him to be a referee for one of her sudden races.
Come on!
Well, did I win or what?
No.
No. What? I don't think you won. How come? It's not my fault Cygnus is slow. Cheating's cheating, and cheaters never win.
You always pick his side.
Thank you, Lizzie. Cove snuck a shy peek at you before answering her. I pick him, and he picks me. Yeah, that line doesn't happen if you do this one before Fireplays. Also, that is fucking cute. That is fucking cute. Pine is like, that's gay. It's adorable. That's really precious. Ghastly Ectoplasma, thank you for the drink water. Appreciate it. Thank you for that hydrate. Cheers to you. You're a couple of rotten eggs, then. That's enough. Nobody here is a loser or a rotten egg. You're each farm fresh. Mom, you tried. Which is a sentence I never thought I'd say. Really? Really? Really, Mum? You thought you'd never say that? That is like the most mum thing I could ever expect you to say, honestly. Like, truly. That is the most, like, middle-class mom thing I would fully expect you to say. I don't believe you for a second, Mom.
All right.
Now listen to Mom and come sit at the table for dinner, all three of you. You and Lizzie obeyed, sitting across from each other at the edge of the table. Lizzie blew a raspberry at you and Mom turned her back. I do appreciate the way this game takes player choices into account and works them into the narrative afterwards. Yeah, it's really awesome. Your parents brought the last of the food, and then they took seats further down the table instead of sitting right next to you and Lizzie. Only Cove was left out. He stood up from his spot on the floor, but he hadn't made a move towards the kitchen. Cove, you can sit too. Slowly, he eyed the 4 seats that were left. Thanks to the new seating arrangement your parents chose, one free chair was beside you, another next to Lizzie, and the last 2 were on the other side of where your mums were sitting. Sit next to me. Cove's gaze met your purple eyes. You smiled. Briefly, he grinned back. He walked over and pulled out the chair next to yours and sat down. You were glad he wanted to sit with you. He just needed to know it was okay. Now that everyone was situated, Mommy began to pass out plates.
Okay.
Dig in, kids. I cooked a little bit of everything for dinner tonight. Be sure not to avoid all the veggies.
Ugh.
Yes, Mom. Each person served themselves, except for one. Cove hesitated again. He fidgeted with his hands clamped on top of his knees. He didn't seem very comfortable doing stuff in someone else's house. One dish seemed to have his eye at least. That's pineapple chicken. Want to try some? Not really, sorry. By then, your mums had noticed that Cove still had nothing on his plate as well. I have a rough recommended order for doing the moments because some of them establish really useful story info and are best done before others. Ah, I see. I mean, I'm always going to do the DLC last. It feels like the DLC should always be, like, the last ones to do. Pineapple chicken sounds fucking incredible. I've definitely had other, like, fruit chicken stuff. No? Really? You not like any of the food, honey?
Well...
Maybe he hasn't tried Hawaiian food before. He hasn't? Wow. Please don't talk with your mouth full, Lizzie. Sometimes you'll want the DLC done beforehand. Ah, alright. Lizzie swallowed the bite she was eating, and then she spoke again. You should try it now. She turned to Cove dramatically. Unless you want to shrink. That's what happens if you miss a meal. Elizabeth, that's not true. You know that. Cove squirmed over under all the attention. He fidgeted with a fork between his fingers. I've had some things, just not any of this.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, shoot. I knew I should have asked your dad what your favorite foods were. It's alright, Lonnie. Maybe he'll find a new favorite today. You weren't so sure about that. Cove didn't look like he was going to be trying any of the food anytime soon. I think you would like the pineapple chicken. It's yummy. Yeah, we're gonna try that. It was the one he was looking at. He ultimately trusted your judgment. At your suggestion, Cove carefully spooned rice and chicken onto the plate. You saw that he took more of the grilled pineapple than any of the vegetables. You nodded, pleased, and your moms let it slide. At first, Cove poked at the food. Clearly, he was apprehensive to eat something new, but he took a few exploratory bites.
Right?
It's good, huh? Isn't it? You don't have to keep asking. He still speared more meat with his fork and ate it, chewing thoughtfully. It's not bad. Mommy grinned at his words, satisfied even though it wasn't exactly a glowing commendation. Lizzie was not as mollified. You're so weird. Don't be mean to your friend. We're not friends. Oh!
Oh.
Cove, holy shit, buddy. Oh. Savage, Cove. Absolutely savage. Oh. Mommy floundered in the face of Cove's blunt honesty. Yo. Lizzie has not been that friendly, to be fair. Absolutely not, Pint. No, you're 100% right. I just think people are not used to, like, Cove, because Cove will just tell you exactly how it fucking is. You weren't surprised by Cove's declaration. The more you got to know him, the more you realized he wasn't the type of kid to keep his opinions to himself. She wasn't easy to get along with all the time, though Cove didn't make much of an effort either. You hoped Cove thought of you as a friend. You two were friends, right? At least the two of you were definitely friends. You hoped Cove thought of you as a friend. Yep. When you gave Cove a look, he returned a small smile, and that made you feel good, even though you were still unsure. I think I'm reading ND off of Cove. Oh, absolutely, Alice. I've gotten that reading off of Cove from, like, the beginning. From the start, Cove has definitely come off very, very neurodivergent. Like, hardcore neurodivergent. You said that last week, too, about an hour into the story, Alice. Your mommy looked at Mom and only got a shrug.
No.
Elizabeth, don't call someone weird. There's no such thing as a weird person and a non-weird person. There's just different perspectives. It's not a nice thing to say to someone, anyone, but Pam. Mommy tried to whisper exclusively to Mom. Her attempt to make it audible over the sounds of clanking silverware meant you caught the quiet words anyway. Friends, he said so. As parents, we can only try, and sometimes we fail. Not all kids will be thick as thieves. I guess I'm nothing if not consistent, kind of like how I said I'm gay for Cygnus. Cygnus's moms, I press enter instead of shift. Fuck. No, that's valid. I think we all knew what you meant, Alice. I think we all knew what you meant, Alice. It's fine, don't worry. Now less talking and more eating, kids. You need to clean up and start winding down for bed soon. Not gonna lie, you're reading Neurodivergent from Lizzie as well. Fair. I don't know if I get that from Lizzie. I just think Lizzie definitely has big older kid syndrome. And, is just used to being the one in charge. But Mom... No buts. We've talked about this. Your bedtime will be moved back in a few years. But for now, you don't get to stay up late. Lizzie sulked, muttering under her breath about how it wasn't right. Specky, thank you for that lurk. Really appreciate that. You laughed at Mom's phrasing. You groaned about it as well. You stayed quiet and finished your meal. I want to stay up late. Pine, thank you for that shout out. Spec's been playing some Super Metroid, was also making music during that last stream. The music was great as always, and it's awesome to see more people playing the Metroid series because I love those games. It seemed way too early to go to sleep.
Isn't that great?
Mixed streams seem to be working out. Absolutely, it's honestly a really awesome idea, Spectrum. The sooner you sleep, the sooner a brand new day will be here. I think that's pretty exciting. The way she's argumentative over everything is very reminiscent of my daughter. Ah, I see some, bruh. That's valid. You weren't sure you agreed. The rest of your dinner passed by uneventfully. Cove was silent for most of it, even when you nudged him and tried to get him to talk. All too soon, the table was cleared, the games in the living room were put away, and you were all steered to your bedrooms. Ah, Specky, hell yeah! The song you were working on during your last stream, Spec, was really fucking cool. I was really digging it. Mom finished tucking you in and kissed your brow just as Mommy poked her head in the room. All ready for lights off, you two? Was it the Hutao or the more chill one? It was definitely the higher energy one. The one I heard was like the super high energy one. Or the higher energy one, I should say. You were lying comfortably in your own bed. Yeah, probably. is that like a song, a cover song you were working on for somebody, or is that like I don't recognize Hu Tao. I'll be honest, I do not recognize that. You were lying comfortably in your bed, the blanket hiked up under your armpits. You could kick it off later if it got too hot. Oh, it's from Genshin. Okay, cool. I did not know that. I do not know anything about Genshin, that's why. That's awesome. Mom had set up the sleeping bag on the floor for Cove, just beside your bed. He had already wiggled inside. You nodded for the both of you in response to Mommy's question. The game has great music for what it's worth, gotcha mechanics aside. I've heard it's a fun game, and like I'm never gonna be like, how dare you play Genshin Impact? It's just not a game for me, because games with gotcha mechanics are dangerous for me. That's a bad combination. It definitely is predatory, though. I mean, gotcha games in general, right?
Good night.
Perfect. I'll go say goodnight to Lizzie, then. Mom tweaked your nose and chuckled when you squawked in annoyance and left. Mommy took her place, sitting on the edge of your bed. Best off just checking the soundtrack out on YouTube? Hell yeah. Sounds good to me. I've heard it's basically anime Breath of the Wild, and that's all I know. Kind of, but I feel like it's definitely more than that now in a way. Yeah, because it technically has gotcha mechanics. Yeah, but it's not real money gotcha mechanics, so that's different.
Sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams, sweetie. You pressed a soft kiss on your forehead. You giggled as strands of her hair fell forward and tickled you. Graphics similar to Breath of the Wild, but gameplay very different. Aha, there we go. Mommy smiled down affectionately at you and then moved her attention to Cove, who watched from his spot on the floor. Do you need anything before falling asleep, honey? What does your dad do? Sometimes he picks me up and lifts me really high and shakes his hands like he's gonna let go, but he catches me again. He keeps doing that until sometimes he does drop me on my bed, or other times he lowers me down and we pretend like I'm crashing. Cove had become pretty excited when talking about the nightly ritual he and his dad shared. He seemed to realize how animated he was and bashfully quieted. Yeah, that's the most excited we've seen Cove in a long time. Gonna lurk into cookie eating? Hell yeah, Spectrum. Thank you for chatting. I know you kind of lurked and ended up chatting anyway. Much love to you, my friend. Have a great lurk. Thank you for being here. Trying and failing to not be down bad. Oh, Alice. But I don't want to do that here.
Aww.
Oh, how fun, though. Though, I think you're right that it might not be a good idea to do that tonight. The sleeping bag might not be a soft enough landing. If there's anything else, you can always ask me or Cygnus's other mom. But I'm the nicer one. Just don't tell her that. Ooh, spicy! Spicy, Mom. Spicy. Okay. She laughed good-naturedly and stood up.
Take care.
Sleep well, Cove. Night. I definitely sighed gaily. Yeah, there you go, Alice. Leaning against the door jamb, she rested a hand on the light switch and looked to you. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. With a last smile, Mommy turned off the lights and stepped out, closing the bedroom door behind her. You listened to her footsteps fade as she walked down the hallway. But even as the sound vanished, your eyes stayed open. It was so exciting to have Cove spending the night. You were happy that Cove was spending the night, but you couldn't shake the conversation from earlier at the dinner table. Cove had said that he and Lizzie weren't friends, but that wasn't the part that was bothering you. No, because Lizzie's being a shitty. You couldn't stop from wondering what he really thought about you. You decided to ask him. Yep. Cove? Yeah? Are we friends? Cove didn't speak for a few moments, and you'd wondered if you'd startled him with the question. The longer the silence stretched, the more uneasy you felt about his impending answer. Do you think we're friends? You wrinkled your nose at the question being redirected back to you. way Cove had asked it made you think that maybe he hadn't even questioned it before, and now more than ever you wondered if you should have just kept quiet instead. We're best friends. We are definitely best friends. You heard Cove shuffle around in his sleeping bag as you looked up at the slivers of light cast upon your ceiling as you waited for him to say something. Well, there isn't somebody else it could be. I guess we are best friends. You chuckled. That answer is just like him. I love that at this point, Cygnus as a character has just accepted Cove's quirky, logical kind of approach to answering questions and doesn't take it personally. I really, really love that that dynamic has been developed. Only because there isn't anyone else? No. You giggled once more. Then you let your eyes drift closed, pleased that it was settled. You started when Cove sighed deeply. You turned your head to look in his direction. Raid. Corpse, I was supposed to raid you! I was literally coming after this chapter was done. Corpse! I was literally finishing this chapter that I was gonna come to you! Happy birthday, love! Sydney's internet died. Oh no! Oh no, I'm so sorry. So you hear? Not to dox. Oh my goodness, that sucks. Alright. If you didn't do it the first time, please do it this time. If you haven't followed Corpse Mom, absolutely do it. She's absolutely phenomenal. I'm so sorry to hear that her internet died on her birthday. That really sucks. But I love you so much, Corpse. You're the best if you can still hear this. If not, I'll just tell you this later. It's fine. Oh, I'm sorry, Corpse. That really sucks. It didn't. It's not her birthday anymore, right? The spirit of the birthday. Let's not get into technicalities, Mara. People's birthdays are as long as we want them to be. I've decided it is Corpse Mom's birthday until we all pass out. So, fuck it. Still birthday. Alright, let's get into this. You started when Cove sighed deeply. You turned your head to look in his direction. In the dark, you could only see a faint outline of a lump under the covers. Cove? What's wrong? I can't sleep. Why not? He shifted, or at least you thought he did, but you couldn't see anything since your eyes were still adjusting to the dark. But you heard his sleeping bag rustle. I want to be in my bed. Oh. Cove sat up. Your eyes had gotten used to the low light levels, so you could see him better. You got out of the sleeping bag, wobbled towards your side table, and pulled open the top drawer. What is it? I'm getting my glasses. You sat up too, watching as he reached inside. He paused for a second, then pulled his hands out. Instead of his glasses, though, he was holding a book. He turned it around in his hands, trying to figure out the proper orientation for it. You knew, even without reading the title, which book it was. It was the one your moms would read to you. It was special. I thought you were looking for your glasses. I was, then I felt this. It looks cool. The compliment he had afforded your special book had you grinning, your confusion forgotten. It is really cool.
Oh?
Oh yeah? What's it about? It's a story about a squire who wants to become a knight, and there's magic. Does it have mermaids? No, but... I love the main character because the squire's really brave and funny. It has cool pictures. Some of them even take up the whole page. Mommy reads it to me. She uses different voices for every character. There's a dragon in it, and crazy things happen. Hell yeah, dragons! The squire tries to kill her because the king wants the dragon dead, so they have this fight. But the squire finds out the dragon's really nice, so they decide they don't want to fight her after all. The two of them become friends instead. Cove looked excited by your words. He flipped the book over and focused at the backside summary. You must be pretty interested in it. You were reminded of the hours you spent hearing the tales. No matter how many times you read it or had it read to you, you were still entertained by the story and the pictures inside. You glanced out the window. The moon was high in the sky. It was definitely the time you were supposed to be asleep. You couldn't keep staying up. You wanted to read the book with Cove. Fuck it, we're staying up. Let's do it. We're staying up. You climbed out of bed and padded over to your side table. You opened it and rummaged around, pushing aside stuffed toys and crayons. Cove called out to you in a confused whisper. What are you doing? You'll see. You let out a quiet cry of victory when you found what you were looking for. You jumped back into bed before any hidden boogeymen could catch you unaware. You continued to watch as you wiggled your way underneath the blanket you discarded earlier. You pulled it up over your head. Come on, check it out. Bring the book too. After a minute, the bed dipped as Cove got on it. Then the blanket shifted. You fiddled with the flashlight in your grip, feeling for the switch. With a click, the small space flooded with a bright light. Cove spluttered, putting a hand up to shield himself from the beam. Move it somewhere else. Sorry. You tilted the flashlight so it was shining down towards the floor of your blanket cave and away from Cove's sensitive eyes. Is that better? Yeah. Now we can read and my moms won't know. I do this all the time. When Mom or Mommy check on me, I have to hide everything under the blanket, but I haven't been caught before. You want to try? Cove nodded. Pleased by his straightforward response, you placed the book between you and flipped it open to the first page. Meanwhile, he laid down on his belly and shuffled closer, picking up the flashlight to shine it on the pages. His face was illuminated with a warm glow. You mirrored his position, leaning in so you could see the book better. Your foreheads nearly brushed until you shuffled back a comfortable distance. You wanted the story to be narrated. You thought it was best to take turns reading the book silently. You flipped through the pages to show Cove cool pictures. You loved it when Mommy read it to you. Oh, we're gonna get in trouble. I didn't think it was gonna be loud. Why not read as loud as you dared this time of night? You didn't even need to study the page for long. There once was a squire who dreamed of knighthood. All they wanted was to do good. Cove was taken aback as you began to recite the words by heart. You even pronounced knighthood properly, a word which had given you grief in the past. His reaction encouraged you to keep going. Soon, you got to an exciting part, the squire and the dragon's first meeting. I'm gonna go to bed, dozing off on the sofa. Chill vibes have been greatly appreciated. Good night, everyone. Sombra, have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for being here. Get some sleep. The squire walked up to the fearsome dragon, their borrowed sword in one hand and a torch in the other. Her red scales danced in the light like flickering flames. Could you say the dragon's lines? Do you need to get your glasses? No, it's... My head hurts if I don't wear my glasses for a while, but I can kinda see things alright. I don't know any voices. That's okay. It's fun anyway. Let me just... Cove read the page, his mouth moving silently with the words. Eventually, he nodded to himself and spoke them out loud. Who goes there? Roared the dragon. Who dares enter my cave? Go to bed. Hey, Playmat, how are you? It was your turn. You went into the squire's famous speech. The next time you looked up from the page, your gaze landed right on Cove. What a shirt. Thank you. Thank you. What can I say? I'm a man of fashion and style. How you doing? His eyes were following the text, a soft smile lighting up his features. A lock of hair fell into his field of vision, but he gave it no notice. He was lost in the story. Thank you for the shout out, Mara. Hell yeah. You started when Cove caught you watching him. He raised a questioning eyebrow. If y'all aren't following the playmat, you absolutely should. He just ran an amazing D&D one-shot on his last stream with some awesome people. And he does it before, but this time he was doing it because he is officially offering professional dungeon master services. And if you ever need a fucking top-notch DM, the playmat is your guy, fully and truly. What? Nothing. Cove shot you a strange look, but he went back to the book. You did it too, even as your eyelids started to droop. When your eyes opened again, your bedroom was pitch black and silent. Your head was smushed in your pillow, your pajamas were sticking to you, and your mouth was dry. Slowly, you raised yourself onto your elbows. You yawned, the back of your throat twinging as you did so. You rolled onto your side to sit up in bed, planning on getting water from the kitchen when you saw a dark shape towering above you. Mara! You froze. Then you remembered you weren't alone in your room tonight. If yesterday's game was any indication, Matt gets a seal of approval as a DM. Does all the things that works very well for me. Yeah, like I was saying, Playmat is top tier DM. Fucking incredible stuff. Cove, that you?
Yeah.
Yeah. You shifted and felt something cylindrical press against your thigh. You fumbled for it. The familiar weight of the flashlight pressed into your palm. You turned it on. Cove looked at you, blinked at you, looking exhausted. He was in his normal clothes again, shoes and everything. His pajama pants were on the floor, abandoned. His sleeping bag was in a similar state. What is it? I can't sleep. I keep waking up. Did you have a bad dream? He shook his head from side to side. No, just can't sleep. It's weird here. You frowned. You'd helped your mom's redecorate it only a few months back. I like my room. It's not that it's bad. I just always sleep in my bed. In my room. To be fair, I almost killed like 2 players. They also had epic items. I mean, you're also fighting the chat, right, Matt? Like, you're not just up against the players, but you're also up against chat who's like healing them and shit like that. So you kind of have to ramp it up. It's tough. They're gonna do something cute. I can feel it. Here's hoping, Alice. That made things a little clearer. It wasn't anything you'd done. Cove just couldn't sleep in a new place. You wondered how long it took Cove's bedroom in his new house to not be weird to him. Probably a while. I'm gonna go. What? That shook off the last of your doziness. He was gonna walk outside back to his own house? This time of night? All by himself? He noted your shocked expression and looked at you with resolve. My dad will let me in. I've gone outside late before, and I have to go. You don't have to. It wouldn't even be a sleepover if Cove left in the middle of the night. It was called a sleepover for a reason. Cove looked frustrated, though you got the feeling it wasn't at you specifically. Yes, I do. You were at a stalemate. Frowning to yourself, you studied his sleeping bag. Was there a way you could make him more comfortable? If Cove didn't like how weird your room was, maybe it would feel better if he had something more familiar nearby. Oh! You went to your bed and grabbed your blanket. Then you spread it over the floor beside Cove's sleeping bag. You watched as you did, blinking. You're sleeping on the floor? Yeah, next to you. Hopefully that'll help you sleep easier. Is that okay? Uh-huh. You spied a small smile playing on his lips. We can try it. But if it doesn't work, I want to go home still. I get it. You grabbed your pillow and a few plush toys for good measure, as Cove picked up his pajama bottoms and folded them and set them aside. You tossed the items in your hands onto the blanket, completing your task. The two of you stood and looked down at your handiwork. You gonna change into your pajamas? No, I can sleep in this. There wasn't anything else left to say. In unison, you both laid down side by side. Cove put his glasses aside and got into a sleeping bag. You made yourself as comfortable as you could, wrapped in the fuzzy blanket. The cold was hard and unforgiving against your back. Not at all as comfy as your bed, but you didn't mind it much. You'd fallen asleep on the floor before. What matters was if it helped. You swiveled your head to observe him. Is it better? He poked the top of his face out of the sleeping bag and mumbled bashfully. I don't know. I have to sleep first. I can't tell if I can now. You couldn't help but be disappointed by the answer. No joke, I struggle with sleeping in places too. The first time I'm somewhere can be awful. That's valid. I'm very, very lucky that I can fucking sleep anywhere. Promise to wake me up if you want to go? Cove looked confused by the request, but he nodded anyway.
Okay.
Sure. You smiled. At least he wouldn't disappear without you knowing. You settled in for bed on the ground, closing your eyes and waiting for sleep to come. You wanted to give Cove a chance to get comfortable. Surprisingly, he decided to keep talking. This was my first sleepover. Is, I guess. You opened your eyes to see him staring at the ceiling, his seafoam hair spread out around his head like he had just gotten shocked. Really? I've had sleepovers before. Sometimes I'll go to friends' houses. Shiloh slept over a few times too, and other stuff. Cove remained quiet. The silence stretched between you, but it didn't feel awkward right now. You didn't feel the need to break it immediately. How was it? Or is it? It's not bad. I liked reading your book. You did? I kind of thought you weren't having fun. You didn't really say anything when we were eating. I didn't know what to say. Oh. Now you were the one who didn't know what to say. You just laid there, and so did Cove, for what felt like a long time. Hey, Cove? There was no answer. You leaned on your elbow to see Cove's eyes closed. His lashes fanned over the apples of his cheeks. His chest raised and lowered with every inhale and exhale. He was fast asleep. You smiled to yourself. Night. You rested on your back and closed your eyes. Soon enough, you were lulled to sleep by the gentle sound of Cove's breathing. You're asleep, oh? So am I. We're almost done, Pella. The next morning, you were woken by the sound of Mom's voice and a soft shake on your shoulder. Cygnus, wake up. It's time to get up and at 'em. The sun was peeking through your curtains, and you rubbed at your eyes as they adjusted to the new light.
How are you?
Is everything okay down there? You blinked at Mom for a moment, confused, before remembering you had slipped down on the floor next to Cove. He was just waking up, yawning loudly. His hand lightly hit your face as he stretched out. When you moved away, you groaned a little at the pain in your shoulder from having slept on the hard ground. It definitely wasn't as comfortable as your cozy bed, that's for sure. Cove wasn't feeling good, so I stayed with him. You mumbled and glanced at Cove, who rubbed his eyes sleepily. He didn't say anything. Still, you were glad he had decided to stay the night in the end. When you looked at Mom next, she was smiling at you both. Mommy was standing in the doorway behind her, doing the same thing. Alright kids, we'll be downstairs making breakfast. Don't take too long coming down. She said something to Mummy on her way out that made the two of them giggle. Uh-huh. Did you sleep okay? They're so onto it. They're so onto them, it's ridiculous. You stood up and stretched your legs, watching Cove fumble with the bedside drawer and pull out his glasses. I think so. He had been able to relax when it was just the two of you in the night. Now that a new day had come, he gave the impression of feeling out of place again. But the smile on his face had a gentle light. Thanks, Cygnus. You're welcome. Even if it couldn't be a perfect time, it was worth it. Cove didn't stay for breakfast. He really was ready to go at that point. Mommy called to make sure Mr. Holden was up before Cove went home. He gave you a small wave as he left, thanking your moms for letting him stay before he disappeared through the front door. You smiled at the sight. Cove's very first sleepover had come to an end. Boom. And that is that. And that is where we're going to end stream. I'm going to save, which I just did. And that's going to be it for today. Yet another super duper chill night. Thank y'all for hanging out tonight. This has been really fun. Next week we will actually for realsies finish this game. Or, sorry, finish this part, not finish this game. What am I saying? Thank you for the stream. Oh, thank y'all. So I'm going to quickly see who's streaming right now, because we were going to raid Corpse Mom, but Corpse Mom's internet died, so she had to cancel, which sucks. But happy birthday to Corpse Mom. Once again, big shout-outs to her. If you're not following her, please do. On Friday, we're back to Psychonauts, which is going to be a great time, because the game is very quirky and fun and silly, and I have been enjoying playing it, even though it did freak me out a bit when we got started. This game is super, super adorable. I'd like to thank Pang for the raid again, and I'd like to thank Corpse Mom, obviously, as well for the raid. Backseat for the raid as well. Oh my god, 3 raids tonight. Amazing.